Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Don't forget about BetUS. I know the football season is over, but that's not the only thing you can do with BetUS. Use that promo code YouTube150 if you like to do casino games, blackjack, Texas Hold'em, all of the above. Don't forget, they do basketball, they do hockey, they do all sports. So get your bets on today. And the good news is you can't lose any money on the Dallas Cowboys right now. So bet responsibly with BetUS. So we're here. I am actually back here at my man cave, and I'm stirring shit up. I literally am stirring shit up because I put out a video about a half hour ago and kind of giving some bad news and putting actually real facts and numbers to back it up. I talk a lot of shit. I will not lie to you and tell you that I don't, but I back it up with something in basis. And that is that when running backs rush for 2,000 yards, generally speaking, they go downhill the next year. That is a fact. And so for Eagle fans that think that Saquon is going to rush for another 2,000 yards, the chances of that happening are not good. And so they can go ahead and come in here and be mad as hell if they want to. And so to stir the shit up even more, I've got somebody that's almost as loyal as my wife, because as soon as I turn on the stream, and if you are a Joe Boo Sports channel member, okay, the link is in the community tab for you to join, and we'd love to have you join. Momo, who's always up in here showing his ass, comes in and says, hey, man, I might be needing to hide out because they're going to be coming after me, man, because I said that Jalen Hurts didn't deserve to be MVP, that basically everything was right there. He had one great pass. The rest of them were kind of meh. So we got two of us on the most wanted list. How are you doing today, Momo?
I'm doing well. Eagles fans, y'all can come at me. Jalen Hurts is not elite. He will never be elite. He's an average quarterback that the NFL rules made him great, just like they made a lot of quarterbacks great. So if you think throughout the seasons and out his 10 years, just because you win the Super Bowl and you on a Super Bowl team, don't make you because you go say he's Super Bowl win, don't make you elite and make you it's your statistically what's on the field. And he has not proven himself on the field throughout his 10 years as a player and a leader of men, as far as I'm concerned. Dak has better. I hate to say this. I don't know why I'm saying this.
Oh, shit. Now he's really getting shit stirred up. Dak Prescott.
Dak got better numbers than Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying.
Oh, shit.
Okay. On that note, let me say hello to Lady Libra, who's double dipping on both sides. We appreciate it, Lady Libra. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day. And I know Lola. We know that she threw the hot sauce on her, man. We know Lola threw the hot sauce. And Holly Pierce, literally there on Joe Boo's Cooking and Tailgating, giving me recipes as well as reminding me about this is Dak Prescott's last year, according to one writer that's out there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Probably will be a light day because a lot of you guys probably knocked the F out from Valentine's Day because you were handling some business there. And we understand you're in recovery mode because we are all a little bit older and stuff. But I see Loyal Cowboy. Loyal, would you like to add to the list of being most wanted here and pissing Eagle fans off?
No, I gotta give the Eagles credit. They
gotta give them credit too. I agree.
They did everything that they said they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Super Bowl. They overcame everything. All the trash we were talking about, who they need to worry about. They beat everybody.
It hurts. It hurts. It does.
Who deserves the MVP? I mean, I think the team they overcome. They dominated the Chiefs.
Lord Cowboy, I would like to say to you, yes, they won the Super Bowl and they deserve all the flowers, everything they get.
Mm-hmm.
But don't come to me and call Jalen Hurts all these sports shows, calling him this great quarterback. He's
not Joe Montana.
Okay. I never said that. I just said they played good as a team.
Yeah,
as a team, they play well.
You know,
The
he
defense
had
played well.
AJ Brown had 8. Everybody 8 on that team.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's your question.
They got a lot of people to eat. That's the
like to
thing
ask
about them.
all Philadelphia Eagles questions, and we can have some common sense here. When a wide
Yeah, Leo's
receiver
not
said
here,
he
so we can have
wasn't
common
happy
sense.
winning the Super Bowl, what that tell you about that team and that wide receiver, that person? I'm not happy. That I wasn't even that happy when I won the Super Bowl.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, he said it in the interview.
Well, I heard the defensive guy who was basically saying I should have been MVP. So you wonder, is there a little dissension here? You had basically, when you think about Seattle, the Russell Wilson interception there was the wedge between offense and defense and was the beginning of the downfall of them. So you wonder, is there a little bit, of arrogance that's in there and stuff? Now, they do have some players that they need to sign, but I have faith that the Eagles will go through and they'll make moves. The difference here with the Eagles and the Cowboys and things is the voidable years. The Eagles have almost $400 million in voidable year money. It's like $380 million worth of voidable years that they have literally just pushed and kicked that stuff off compared to like the Cowboys. I think we're 8th or 9th and we have like 62 million in voidable years. So that's why they end up having Jalen Hurts with a $22 million hit for this year. In 2029, they have a voided year of $97 million. So they have a lot of money. They've got like Saquon out there to like 30-31. And does anybody think Saquon is going to be playing until 30-31?
No.
No. So, they look at it like we're winning now. We're going to keep this thing together. And I don't have a problem with that. I would rather the Cowboys do some shit like that than to go ahead and keep saying that, we can't, sign this because it's going to mess us up for the future. Bro, the future is right now. You got Dak Prescott for a couple more years at best. You've got Micah Parsons who's in his prime. CeeDee Lamb that's in his prime. You want to take advantage of having those guys right now, like basically Dan Quinn said. Tomorrow's not promised. Yeah.
Okay. Here's my thing. If they don't get a hold of Michael Parsons right now and tell him shut the what up, he needs to calm down because he's talking too much. He's talking too much, Mark, and he needs to be traded.
Well, hold on. Wait. What is he? No. I don't agree with that. He's changed how he's doing things.
I like what Mike is doing. I wish Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, well, actually,
I wish they would step up to Jerry Jones like that.
Actually, CeeDee Lamb actually has. See, you know what? I look at it like this with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's got his contract now, so he gives no fucks. So he has no problem when being asked who has the more passionate fans. Right now, you have to. I can't say that there's any Cowboy fan that's passionate right now about the team the way the Eagles are that just won the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Passionate about what? We're loyal as fuck. We ain't done shit, and we're here still reaping the team, but that doesn't mean that we're just excited like the Eagles. Hell, the Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls since 2017. They, of course, should feel passion. They should feel pride. We haven't done shit. We should feel like shit. But CeeDee Lamb is out there literally saying, aren't y'all sick of this bullshit?
Right.
Which I'm happy. I'm happy as shit that he put the Joneses on blast. And for Micah, I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Momo. The fact that he is saying, listen, let's get my contract done. I don't have to be the highest paid.
That's the dumbest thing he ever could say.
No, it's not. No,
it's not if he's trying to.
No, it's not. No. No.
He wants to win.
Here's the thing.
He wants a player like that. He wants to win.
No
a Super
player
Bowl.
in today's world.
He wants to have.
That's right. But see, Mo. Okay, let me explain it to you though. Let me explain it to you like this. He is not necessarily the best edge rusher that's out there. You could look at argument and say TJ Watt. You could say Myles Garrett and things like that. You could say, Bosa and things, right? But check this out. Who do you know more about than any of those guys? Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is literally taking Bleacher Report to another level where he's the president of Bleacher Report. Do you think he would have Bleacher Report if he was like Myles Garrett in Cleveland?
At some point, you got to ring him in.
Well, bringing it okay. Now I would say that when what I saw in the beginning of the year when he was having a big play Slay on there after we got mollywopped and they're yucking it up and everything else. Yeah, I agree. But what he's saying right now, I don't have a problem with that. Right now, he is literally telling the ownership.
Were you offended as a Cowboy fan?
I was then.
Said,
yes.
When he said when he had what's his name played for the Baltimore Ravens, saying you should never came to our team. If you would have came,
it's
you
true.
messed it up.
That's a true statement. That's a true. I can't disagree with it because see, here's the thing: you do you want to be sugarcoated or do you want the truth?
No, because I think they would. I think
no, because here's the problem. Because you know what? Here's the problem. No. But bro. I have some people that will say to me, "Bro, I can't watch you because you're so negative." You want me to lie to you and tell you that everything is going to be great and we're going to be a Super Bowl champion when we're not? Because that's the problem. I get out here and I go to training camp. I look at the guys that are out there and I tell you, oh my God, Jonathan Brooks looks as good as Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, he's a great wide receiver. You get told a whole bunch of bullshit. The best thing is, it's honestly, Derrick Henry, if he had come here, he wouldn't be close to 2,000 yards. He wouldn't have been deep in the playoffs. It's a fact. We did not have the team and stuff. Okay,
he would have more yards than your running back Rico had.
But he's also here telling Myles Garrett, let's get together so we can stop Thanos, which is the Eagles. He's telling the ownership, look, let's get this deal done so I can keep my teammates here, Osa and Digazua. I actually like all of that as opposed to CeeDee Lamb, who just held out all offseason. He's already said, listen, if I don't get my contract, it's important for me to be there in camp. Will I do everything? Probably not. I see him trying to go ahead and get the Joneses to get off their fat ass and actually do something. Now, I got to listen to Walker Wade because Walker Wade, who's got his Jerry Jones, who's so far away from a Yoda.
Yeah. Let me say the final thing on this subject on my part.
Okay.
Wait, you cannot push billionaires. Who runs this league? The owners. So you cannot push our owners to pay you. They're not going to do that. They're going to fight back.
Oh, I agree. So but you know what?
Doing this, he's not going to get paid.
I disagree.
And he probably going to end up getting traded. I believe the best served to get traded so y'all can get some draft picks, period.
Okay. That brings up a whole nother. Okay. So that brings up a whole nother situation here then, too, when you talk about trading him. I have no faith in the Cowboys making any kind of trades because they always get hosed. Every time they try and make a trade, they pay too much and they get too little. We're talking about a team that gave up 2 number ones for Joey Galloway. We're talking about a team who gave up a first and a second for Roy Williams. We're talking about a team who just gave up a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo, a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, who at best might be a 3rd-string quarterback making about $1.5 million someplace this year. So when you say, well, they might trade him, well, they trade Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick and then trade a 4th round to get Jonathan Mingo. And you probably will look at him, and right now a 4th-round pick will probably get Cooper Kupp. So when you say trade Micah, hell, I'd see them trade him for a couple of number 2s, as bad as those motherfuckers are. So Walker Wade.
Micah.
Huh?
Well, we had trade Micah's for Myles Garrett and the Browns' 2nd pick.
There you go.
2nd overall pick.
Yeah, I'm not because you know what, Leo.
Then if you're the Cowboys, you trade back with a team and you get 2 first rounds this year, 2 first rounds next year.
Wade, you're absolutely right.
Right, and here's what I'm gonna say. And Micah Parsons, that I think he ended up growing tremendously after getting hurt. Those first 3 years, he was the media darling. Everything was great. Everybody loved him and everything else. But the way the season started out, where he had 1 sack in the first, I guess those 4 games he played before he got injured, and he was yucking it up on his podcast and having everybody out, on there and stuff, and dissing Dak and everything else. He got injured. And it seemed like when he came back, he was a different person on his podcast and on the field. And you saw the defense go from being shit to actually being at least credible defense with him.
He needs to learn how to do better technique when he's tackling, better technique when he's pursuing. He doesn't. He only thing he wants to do is rush the passer.
But you know what though? But
Dementia, when a player becomes one dimension on play a certain way, they tradable.
okay.
Period.
Here's the problem though, Momo. That I'm going to disagree with you on this. If I've got somebody who can do one thing really, really well, and that's get to the quarterback, I'm happy as shit. Because finding people who can do that the way that he does without having anybody else around him is a rare find. What the Cowboys failed to do, and this is what they've done with Dak and everybody else and CD, their whole thing is, if I've got one great player, then they should be able to do everything by themselves. See, if you put him on with the Eagles, they're not worried about him pursuing. They're going to tell him, all we want you to do is get to the fucking quarterback, because we got thugs that can take care of the run game and pursuing and run. You just get the quarterback, get upfield, and make sure you're in his face every single time he throws. And that's the downfall. Who else do you look at on the Dallas Cowboys defense and say, that guy scares me?
I don't think no one scares of Michael Parsons.
Thank you. So what you're saying is Micah Parsons, you're saying just like Jesse Holley said, well, Micah Parsons, he ain't elite at being a linebacker. He just wants to run the quarter. Okay, I don't need him to do that. Let me go ahead and get a couple of guys who can stop the run and get me a linebacker that'll do that. If you take care of getting the quarterback and get me 20 sacks a season, we're good.
But I don't think nobody fears Michael Parsons anymore.
If you end up having a few guys out there with him, I guarantee you get him one-on-one and allow him going one-on-one as opposed to being double team because they're worried about somebody on the other side, he will be that much more effective. So, you can say what you want. The guy still missed 4 games and still had 12 sacks.
He played bad teams, Mark. He played bad teams.
Oh, okay. Then how come everybody else doesn't have like 12, 14 sacks then?
He's a great edge rusher. Okay. I'm not saying.
All right.
But when they run the
we'll
ball,
choose to disagree on that one. My problem is there's nobody else on that defense that you're worried about stopping. Because I'll give you another example. A few years ago when Dante Fowler played on Atlanta,
right,
he had about 4 sacks because he was like the best player they had on there. So what happens to the best player you have on the defense? We're putting the lion's share of people against him to stop him. He's in Washington. What did he get, 10 sacks this year? Same guy 4 years later. Because he's not the only guy that you focus on. And right now, everybody knows, stop Micah Parsons and the defense isn't going to go anywhere. Right, you have to have other people. The Eagles defense, and I see Leo over here with his shit-eating grin. He's just happy to come in here and troll, just like the champ is just sending me, emails and text messages and pictures of shit. Stop that shit, man. Fuck you.
No, you gotta call us both the champ. Like, yeah.
No, I'm not calling you. I'm calling you both the chumps.
I got to deal with this today.
You do.
Yes, you do, Momo.
You do.
Yes, you do. You do.
The problem
you got to deal with this all off season. I said I promised all of you that I would be insufferable.
Oh, well, not
Go ahead. Carry on.
Go.
See, we have a mute button here too. He doesn't even know that he's been muted. Look at him. Hello. We have a mute button. I forgot about that.
Look, man, they got too many damn holes. They got to do something, man. We're gonna catch the Eagles.
Yeah, because y'all need.
Well, we have to, and that's the bottom line.
And does Cleveland? I'm wondering if Cleveland's gonna trade back or they're gonna get a quarterback.
Cleveland always gets quarterbacks, and they never get one worth of fuck.
Because they got Deshaun Watson still. They're got. They're stuck with him.
Well, Deshaun Watson probably won't even be able to play this year. He tore his Achilles again. Okay, while recovering.
And they're also
3 months after.
Deshaun Watson with Myles Garrett, too. Just FYI.
They're trying to package him? They're just trying to get rid of him. Yeah, good luck with that.
The contract, yeah.
Good luck with that. Ain't nobody taking on that contract because that's just you literally taking on. Because the problem with Deshaun Watson was they kept restructuring it with that fully guaranteed contract. So going into this past season, they still had 2 more guaranteed years of like $73 million. Now, I know they changed his contract basically so they can add some more affordable years and get some relief, but that just was just bad. That whole thing was just bad. Now, the question will be will the Cowboys do anything? Because let's be real, okay? The Eagles, as much as I hate them, they know how to work the cap. They do eventually have all that void money that is out there, in the future that will have to come due at some point. Maybe they just keep passing it on to, another 100 years or so, but they're willing to do it. Jerry Jones has no balls anymore. They take no risk whatsoever. You know what the biggest free agent signing that we've had is in the last 5 years is?
Greg Hardy.
No, that's not 5 years. That's actually almost 10 years.
A while ago.
The last 5 years.
Gerald McCoy, right?
Yeah. Gerald McCoy was the biggest free agent signing.
He didn't even play.
Bingo. Got injured before the season. And so when you look at this, and then we've had 2 years where the draft picks, you didn't get any major impact out of it, you can't expect to do anything.
Especially, when you don't spend in free agency. And that's the whole thing with I've been listening to Game Time Brian a lot, and it's like I don't know what position they should draft because it just depends if Jerry does anything in free agency or not. It all depends on that.
Well, including our own. I mean, if you let go Osa and Digazua.
Right. You can't let go of Osa, Jordan Lewis, Brock Hoffman I want to bring back. I mean, there's a lot of our own.
Well, Brock Hoffman won't be that bad, I don't think. But you're talking about Goldston, you're talking about Osa, you're talking about Jordan Lewis. You've got most of your free agents are on the defense. And so if you don't re-sign any of them, you've got to go defense first. Everybody has us penciled in with Genty. But looking at, I'm not the college draft guy. Okay, I'll be real with you, okay? I'm not that guy. I don't have enough time to go through. And I'm kind of looking for somebody who wants to kind of get started doing YouTube that is that draft guy so we can kind of pump them up and work together and things like that. But when you look at some of the draft analysis, nobody else, when you say the top 5 needs in the first round, the Cowboys, they have running back at number 1. Everybody else there's only like 3 or 4 other teams that are even listed with running back on there. So it might be advantageous for the Cowboys if Genty is still there at 12 to maybe look at moving back to get him and see if you can get another pick to try and make up for that lost 4th round pick or get a 3rd round pick. And if you roll the dice and you miss on him, you still can get a really great player in, say, the top 18. Am I wrong?
Not at all. And there's good running backs later in the draft, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round that you can pick up. This is a really deep running back class. So I hope they pick up a wide receiver as well. I just think you need a playmaker outside of CeeDee Lamb too. So
they really have to get the offensive line fixed, though.
I think you need both ends. You need both lines. You need D line and offensive line as well.
Mark,
it's going to come down to you're going to have to wait till you see a team pick a certain position. This happens in every draft. A team picks a certain position, and then all of a sudden there's like this run on this one position. And then next thing you know, people are dropping, and you're like, wait a minute, hold up. What?
And that's how we got Taco Charlton.
So, so it's like,
that's why I believe too, I don't believe they're going to be stuff
that it's like, that's the stuff that you don't see coming.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you have, and to be quite honest with you, when you're picking at number 12, that if you add that little piece to it, it kind of makes the idea of, hey, trade back and get some more draft capital.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And your guy might still the guy
might still be there. Yeah, like Micah was.
Might still be there.
Right. That's what happened with Micah, and we ended up getting Goldston with them.
I believe we'll get first.
But you also said, Mark, that y'all do terrible in the 2nd round, right?
That's because, but that's part of the philosophy of the Cowboys. It is flawed. Their whole thing is, and the Cowboys probably have done better in 1st round draft picks over the last 15 years than anybody else. When you think about, Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb, we've done really good with 1st round picks. It's kind of like okay, we got our guy. Now let's gamble with the second round pick and let's see if we can find somebody with first round talent. Right. So you look and you say Jalen Smith, had he not gotten hurt, would have been a top 10 pick. Yep. You look at it and say Randy Gregory, if he hadn't gotten busted smoking weed, he'd been a first round pick. Right. And
Jones.
Right. And so they've gone through and they always are looking for that bargain in the scratch and dent pile. You know, a guy that's been injured, Tristan Hill. Oh, well, Tristan Hill, he didn't get along with his coaches and stuff, but we'll get him to sign a workout agreement and he won't be a problem. Yeah. That's the problem with it, is getting guys that have been injured. Don't draft anybody that's been injured. If they're injured like Sean Lee was, and don't do it. Don't do it. Give me somebody who's going to be healthy and ready to go this year. Hey. Don't give me a guy who's got coaching issues. That is an idiot.
Mark, let me say this about Gently. Yeah. I believe that the Cowboys don't need to pick him in the 12th round because I think 12th. He'll be ready because the thing on him, a lot of the scouting report I see is that he's too short. Mm-hmm. And he's too short. And that.
I tell you what.
And then he's going to drop.
Barry Sanders comes up to about right here on me, and I'm not exactly tall. Okay.
So a lot of these teams not going to draft him, so he's going to fall. He's going to fall heavily.
Hell, Emmett was short.
Yeah.
Mark, can I just rebuttal? Can I just say something to Momo, because his opening statements and everything.
You heard that?
I heard it. I heard what he said, and I'm just like,
he's wrong.
Here's the first thing I'll say. Here's the first off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll give it to Mark. He might troll, he might say some messed up things, but at the end of the day, because he was a football player, he does know good and bad football when he sees it. Okay? That being said, Momo, Jalen Hurts is 9 for 10.
I don't care. You know what? Okay, I'll let you talk.
Hear me out. Let me complete the thought. When I say 9 for 10, do you know what I'm talking about when I say 9 for 10? Do you know what that means? Jalen Hurts is in the 10 years, in the last 10 years, Jalen Hurts has had 9 different offensive coordinators. 9.
Which is insane.
The last 10 years, which goes all the way back to when he left high school. Okay? Now, say what you will about quarterbacks and quarterback play. The one thing we do know for a fact is that to be able to grasp a offensive system and play that system at a high level, a change. At any time there's a change, that's difficult to do. Even if you only go through it once or twice, it's literally like learning a new language. And when you have someone who has not had the same coordinator twice in the same year and over the last 10 years, only once, that you have to add that in when you're talking about evaluating somebody, when you're talking about evaluating a quarterback's play. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that you could throw out. And let me say this, one of those people, one of those coaches that actually helped develop Jalen Hurts is on your team developing your quarterback now. Brian Johnson. He's your pass game coordinator. And that's the part about Commander fans that I don't understand. How are you missing it? Are you actually a fan, or do you even know football? Because no way can you say a quarterback who has done what he's done over the last few years can do what he's done with what he's had is a bum or not elite. That man is elite. Let's so respect.
Okay, I like the comment. I like the comment on what you just said. I did not call him a bum.
No, I said bumanders.
I let you speak. So you got to hit that mute button like I hit my mute button on my mic. I just want to say this, and I said it to anybody, to my friends who I live here, who are Eagles fans. I said Jalen Hurts is an average quarterback that the NFL rules that have made him great. He is hear me out. He is a
His
winner.
team has made him great.
Running high school, college, and pros. but he is not this top-notch quarterback that they are putting up the pedestal. He's very good at what he does, but he ain't he would never be elite quarterback as you want and Eagle fans want to be. And far as the Washington football team and Brian and the head coach, like the offense coordinator, coordinator has found a save of anything. So I don't care who's there, who's not there. I don't care what Jalen Hurts, what he's been through.
And that's your problem.
Everybody's been through coaches and coordinators. So everybody has been through coordinators. On the defensive side, I get it. You're a fan.
Year for the last 10 years.
I'm not here to argue.
Momo,
this point.
every year
I'm good.
for the last 10 years.
Mark, take it
Okay.
over, please. I'm not arguing this, man.
Look, if Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl next year, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame when he's done.
There you go.
There
you go.
I hope the hell not.
I'm sorry, Momo. It doesn't matter what you say if he's average or not. If he wins a Super Bowl next year, back-to-back Super Bowls, by the time his career is done, he's a Hall of Famer.
Wait.
Thank you,
agree
Wade.
with you. If he wins another Super Bowl next year, he will be in the Hall of Fame. Because in the Hall of Fame, they take anybody now for being in the Hall of Fame. So
Look,
you're right.
All that matters when it comes to quarterback play in the NFL, as far as I'm concerned, is winning championships and stepping up in the playoffs. If you can't do that,
why isn't
then
Jim
you're no
Plunkett in
good.
the Hall of Fame then? I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history
So
of the game.
Momo, you do realize that Jalen Hurts has beaten Joe Burrow. He's beaten Patrick Mahomes twice.
I have my opinion.
Beaten Josh Allen.
My opinion. Why can't you just go for that?
Do you realize that Jalen Hurts is 15-4 against the AFC?
Numbers don't mean nothing to me.
He's beaten Lamar.
Spitting out don't mean nothing to me.
Which of those quarterbacks
those numbers
has
doesn't
beaten
mean
Jalen
those
Hurts?
numbers you spitting at me don't mean
but all
anything
you're talking about with quarterbacks is stats, Momo. Oh, he doesn't have good numbers.
I don't care about the stats. All stats are convoluted.
What do you want him to do? Throw 500 yards a game? What do you want him to do? Throw 500 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception?
My eyes don't lie to me.
So Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts?
That's all I'm going to say. My eyes don't lie.
So Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts?
What I'm saying, in this past Super Bowl, I feel like the defense.
He managed the game just fine, though, Momo.
That's fine. He's a game manager. That's fine. He's a game manager.
I'll say this about Jalen Hurts.
Hold on. The greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, said the job of the quarterback is to be a game manager.
There you go.
At the end of the day, the defense won that game for the Eagles. That's how I see it. That's how many other people see it. Y'all guys could jump on me and say whatever. I don't believe that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but I don't believe that he's a quote unquote.
So what makes you? What do you use? What do you determine? Like, what do you need to see to say an elite quarterback? Who is an elite quarterback? He needs him to
throw for 4 touchdowns and 1 interception a game and 500 yards. That's what he needs him to put up Peyton Manning numbers. He needs him to put like Patrick Mahomes out there.
It's not.
All right, Momo. Who's the elite quarterbacks in the league right now? Who's the elite quarterbacks in the league right now?
Go back. Hold on. I look back in history. Teams that won Super Bowls that was a defensive-minded teams, like the Trent Dilfer when he was with the Baltimore Ravens. He was so they didn't give him MVP.
Yeah, but they didn't go 2 times in 3 years though. So
doesn't Trent Dilfer get?
And the offense was ass. Their offense was complete garbage.
Got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Their offense was complete garbage.
Drew said Momo has glaucoma.
Bro, go and look at the Baltimore Ravens offense that year. They could barely score 10 points a game. The Philadelphia Eagles are throwing up 40 points.
I agree with you. He wasn't a very good quarterback.
So what makes so what do you need to see? What would you say makes a person elite?
Listen to me, guys. Y'all could jump on me all day. That's fine. Here's what I'm basically saying in a nutshell. It's a team game. We all know that. But
he's
the
a Commanders fan. He ain't
was
seen a
the
good
main
quarterback since
reason they
Joe
won this
Theismann.
game. You have to say whatever you want.
He keeps avoiding answering that question. He'll tell you everything other than the answer to that question.
This and I know that.
So
Why
Momo has an accountability issue because he won't even tell you what makes an elite quarterback. Like, what are the parameters that you use to be a good quarterback?
We'll talk. I told you I'm not going to have the discussion.
What makes an elite quarterback? What do you?
Right, Mark.
What make
the last time the Washington Redskins saw a good quarterback was Joe Theismann. That's how long it's been.
What you talking about, Ray? I'm not talking about the Washington team. I'm talking about the Eagles.
What do you use to say he's an elite quarterback? What is that?
Discuss that subject on here between me and you because it's going to be
long.
This is a football.
Here's the reality.
A Cowboys station. And
here's the reality. We'll leave it alone. Jalen Hurts right now.
He's
already going to go in the Ring of Honor for Philadelphia because he's accomplished more than any other starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles have. He's won a Super Bowl.
I grant you that.
I'm not
debating that.
Carson Wentz can't say that.
Nope.
He led him to the.
But he's got 2 rings.
I just want
3 rings.
You know, they do get another ring, he'll go in the Hall of Fame.
I know. Wait.
I just want a Super Bowl. I just want a Super Bowl. That's all I want. I don't care who's MVP. You know what? Call my quarterback trash. Just call him a championship. That's all. Hey, Aisha Robinson. I hope you're doing well, girl.
Hey, Aisha.
Hey, Tyler Joyce.
Hey, Loyo.
Hey, Aisha. Hey, let me say this, guys.
Hey, Momo.
Hey, I feel how I feel. And it's not because I'm delusional. It's like that. I just see. I'm a defensive type guy who loves defense. And I love defense. So when I see great defenses play, to me, defense will always overshadow a very good offense. And that's what I seen in that Super Bowl.
Momo, Drew says, shut the fuck up, 53-20.
I don't care what Drew. I don't care what Drew. I don't care what Drew says.
At this point, again, Hurts has accomplished more than Dak Prescott has.
Shut the fuck up.
You know what? Let me
one at a time, guys. One at a time.
Mark, we literally broke the record for the number of points scored during a playoff run. 145, never been done before. All right. That Super Bowl. If we're going to be honest, that's the wait a minute. Wait, hold on. If we're going to be honest, that game was really 40-6. Those last two touchdowns that they scored were garbage time, and one of them was against our reserves. Okay, we put up and we put 40, and they only scored 22, which was the same amount of points that the Commanders scored on us 2 weeks prior to that.
Okay, what about
the thing about it with them is we actually did the Commanders worse. We put 55 on them.
Okay. Here's the question. Why did why couldn't you
like so when we talk when you see and hear a Commanders fan talk,
okay.
Why couldn't you score more touchdowns?
In case
field goals over a team like that.
Okay. In case you guys don't I get it. You guys are having your feud and stuff. Okay. Leo, you need to go live and have Momo on there with you. This is a Dallas Cowboy channel, and we're trying to figure out what the fuck are we going to do for this season. And all we are talking about is whether or not Jalen Hurts should be MVP. I don't care. Okay? Both of you guys take your winning seasons and shut the fuck up. Okay? Now, anybody who is not a Commander or Eagle fan that wants to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and if or not we're going to do something or has a suggestion on how we can win and shut these two motherfuckers up, by all means, please speak now and just don't let these motherfuckers take over the show. Jesus Christ. We've been on here for 40 minutes and all I'm hearing is Commanders hating on the Eagles and Eagles hating on the Commanders on a Dallas Cowboys show in the first week of the offseason. While we have on a daily basis the Dallas Cowboys linked to T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Myles Garrett and everything else. Can we please talk about the Cowboys?
Sure, Mark. Let's talk about the Cowboys.
God.
Well, damn. Ain't gonna be nothing to talk about the Cowboys if they do the same shit they did last year in free agency. We're gonna have a long offseason.
That's all it is. If they don't do shit in free agency, excuse my language, sorry.
I mean, look, I'm telling you right now, if they do not do anything in the first week of free agency, stick a fork in them, they are done.
It's the same thing.
Well, if the only thing we do is we sign the long snapper like we did last year for the first week, yeah, you're right.
Same old. Yeah.
I mean, I'm calling it like it is. If they do not do anything and flip them triggers, because Steven's full of shit, we could create 100 million. If we don't do that, we're done. We're done, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Got too many holes.
It's like why pay Dak if you're not gonna?
Because Dak keeps you relevant, keeps you in the news. It's controversy sells.
It's also not helping the fact that Will McClay and the scouting department drafted our last 2 first-round picks ain't been that good.
No.
I mean, that don't help.
If they were 3rd-round picks, okay, yeah.
Especially when you don't do anything in free agency, yeah, it doesn't help.
The fact that your 3rd-round pick that you got when you traded back is played better than your 1st-round pick speaks volumes. Right. Cooper Beebe is a much better player than Tyler Guyton right now.
You see our doggy, Mark?
Yeah, man, it's cute.
Yeah. Her name's
we're just in a weird spot.
We're in a weird spot because you got an idiot called Stephen Jones who thinks that he knows everything. And, I've learned in my own life because I'm recognizing, I discovered Mr. Beast, man. I'd never seen him before until about a month or so ago. And it's like, wow. But listening to him, how he
ended up do with all that does the contest for the money and everything.
Yeah,
Mark, you never heard of Mr. Beast?
I mean, I heard him, but I never actually listen. I do YouTube, but I ain't got time to watch YouTube.
Mark,
what?
I know him personally because he lives in Eastern North Carolina, in Greenville, North Carolina.
Okay,
that's what he does. He gives all this crazy giveaways.
Yeah, he does. He literally makes. I mean, he's got hundreds of people that work for him and makes buku money, but it's not so much about that. I mean, that's great that he makes buku money, but it's his worth ethic. Okay, he's like, I don't need a Lamborghini or a big fancy house and all this stuff, because he says when you invest in that kind of stuff, it takes you from being able to invest in what your business is, which is the truth. So he literally has his bedroom is right there in his humongous 40,000 square foot, studio and things, and everything that they do is about the product. And he recognized when he first started out and was growing that I can't do this by myself. So he hired a guy to just move boxes, and then he hired a guy to start doing editing and so on, and recognize to grow the business, we have to evolve. And that's what the Joneses have not done. When they bought the Cowboys and they were losing money every month, they had to worry about losing $2 million a month. They had to worry about every cent for the business. And that's why they kept it all, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones and Charlotte and everything else.
The Cowboys had to move their ass in the beginning, Mark.
Right.
They were broke,
but the thing is now you've grown and you're still having that same mentality. There's so many different things and so many different things that have changed. You can't do business that way. And that's why this shit is failing. Stephen Jones is not a capologist. You've got the change of voidable years and things and all these other things that you can use that they don't know anything about. And sometimes I always wonder, it's like, why don't we do, where we're using those voidable years? Why do we do the contracts the way we do? I think it's simply because they just don't know. They're not experts in it the way you need to be. And it's like, why don't you hire somebody for $1 million or $2 million a year that all they do is just manage the cap? Is that really insane? You got a guy from Marketplace Grill who started out training servers. He is your executive VP to the executive VP.
One of us be to the manager cap.
I mean, come on.
Well, you know what though, Mark? The thing is what's funny to me is that at the beginning of this season, Jerry, remember the whole "we're all in," right?
Jerry just says whatever's off the top of his head.
But then I was thinking about this. Before I came on, you were going over the cap, at least for the Philadelphia Eagles, about kicking it down the road,
and you still are,
years or whatever. And so my thought process is that, like what you see happening as far as how they're managing the cap, that to me is an indicator of all in.
Well, yeah, this is true. But see, here's the thing. The difference between the Cowboys and the Eagles, since 2016 in free agents, and this includes your own free agents, the Eagles has spent $640 million. By comparison, the Cowboys have spent $339 million. Half, exactly. Half, Eddie, half. Okay, so you can understand that. Now, if we look at voidable year, if we look at voidable year money, you've got Saquon scheduled out to like 30-31. You got Jalen Hurts' money out there in 29. He's got a balloon payment. So it's giving you flexibility because you guys got like almost $400 million in voidable years with your contracts. By comparison, the Cowboys only have $60 million. And so the perception is, well, Cowboys are paying Dak Prescott $80 million next year, but they can literally walk away after 26 from it without having any pain. And when you look at a deal like Diggs's, like, for example, right now, the Cowboys can walk away from Diggs's contract right now because they had so much of his bonus money and stuff up front that now that he is actually injured, they can kind of say, we're just going to cut him and move on. And they're not going to take a big dead hit. They don't have that money as voidable money, which is good if the player does not perform. You're not going to end up eating it. And so this is the gamble.
So is the fan base, is the Cowboy fan base, are you guys feeling like with these coaching moves, is that your indicator that, are you using that as your indicator that things will be different this year? If not, if it's not the coaching hires, what are you using to determine or to think maybe this will be a different year in terms of how they do things?
Well, here's what I'm looking at it like this with the coaching staff. We got to Brian Schottenheimer maybe because they were playing musical chairs and they were worried they weren't going to get a seat. That maybe Kellen Moore was kind of like, thanks, but no thanks. Dion, no, I'm going to stick with college. And they started grasping for straws. But at least from what you hear, because now everybody talks about, oh, this is a great hire and that's a great hire. You didn't know who he was 2 weeks ago. So don't give me this that he's going to be great, this, that, and the other. But on paper, you've got younger coaches that may be able to relate better with the players than a Mike McCarthy or a Mike Zimmer. You've got now a young staff that is actually going to be trying to do something to make names for themselves, and they will be on the spotlight. I think that they have made possibly some better moves in coaching. I'm happy that they're just younger because I know half you guys, when I tell you something, you look at it, man, that old fuck, man, what the hell is that old fool know? Well, I actually know a lot, but you won't listen because I am an old guy. Having a younger guy that can relate and understand social media and PlayStation is going to get the players to work better for them. So I'm happy about that aspect. But if they don't get the players to help, when I look at the goon squad over there with the Eagles and all the positions that they have that they're loaded, they look like the 90s Cowboys. When you get off the bus and you look at that team and then you look at some of the guys that we have from the USFL, you look at that and say, we can't compete. You've got to get the players to go with that. So it's all on Jerry and Stephen Jones. Are we doing business as usual? We're going to look at the USFL. We're going to wait till after training camp to go ahead and see what's left over, and we're not going to hire anybody. It's going to be, we'll be a decent team just because you got Dak. But you don't have enough to compete. Not anywhere close.
So you're not, are you bracing yourself for, let's say, somewhat of a mediocre season? Because let me say this: are you willing to say that you're currently in a rebuild mode?
Every year is almost a rebuild with the Cowboys.
So then this is going to be
here's what you have to understand. Listen.
No, but this year was a really they pretty much.
You let go 9 starters. If you let go 9 starters, isn't that a rebuild?
The 09 starters?
I said, when you let go 9 starters, don't you look at that and say it's a rebuild?
Yes.
That's what we did. Yes. And that's kind of what we do every year. I can look back and say when we traded Amari Cooper, we also let go Cedric Wilson. You ended up getting Lyle Collins was gone. Who else was out of there on that team? We ended up having that year, I think, 7 or 8 starters that were gone out.
Mark, we're going to lose more, and we got a whole new coaching staff.
Well,
it's a definite
well,
rebuild.
The question will be but not all of them I'm worried about losing. D-Law you didn't have last year anyway, so if he doesn't come back, is that really that bad? The ones I worry about are Osa.
I would love it.
He's a solid
run-stopping
defensive lineman.
Yes, he is, but you didn't have him but for 4 games last year. So you've already lost without him.
You're still going to have to replace him.
Well, we had to replace him this year. I agree. And that's maybe you're getting Myles Garrett if the Cowboys decide to get crazy.
Stephen Jones, we got no money, Mark.
Well,
we don't like spending money, Mark. We don't
I agree. In which case,
the Eagles do business.
Well,
even though they went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, we just don't believe that's the way you build a team.
Well, we know that the Eagles are headed for trouble here because they got $640 million in voidable contracts, and at some point, maybe they win 5 or 6 Super Bowls, but one of these days it's going to all come falling down on top of them, and we'll be here laughing and saying, "See, I told you that's not the way you do this shit." Yeah, I agree with you, and herein lies the problem. Is you could be facing down Osa is gone. You could be facing down that Rico is gone. And with nobody being there to replace him other than the draft. I mean, that's the reality of the Dallas Cowboys. It wouldn't be the first time.
But when are we going to take the blame, Mark?
What do you mean, when are we going to take the blame? Who's we?
We're spoiled. We root for a team that has more rings as champions than anybody except for the New England Patriots. Am I right?
In the Steelers.
The Steelers.
And the Steelers, I thought they were 5.
No,
they got 6. They got 6. And then the Niners got 5 too.
All right, so now we're talking about business, and business-wise, they got to rebuild. They got to get new coaches to match with the team. Okay, the fan base is just wanting to win all the time. We're spoiled.
Yeah.
Because we're used to pride and we're used to the glory.
Okay.
We're spoiled. Now, when it's time to get down to being telling it like it is, yeah, they make bad decisions like putting Guyton on the left side when he's the right side in college. Yeah, but now if you draft a left tackle and put Guyton back on the right side, what do you think about your offensive line now?
But they're not going to do that.
How do you
They're
know
not going to do that. They drafted him specifically to be
a left
guy to replace Tyron.
I don't want to draft offensive linemen. I want my team to go out.
They will not. I would like to see that too. I agree with you too, Edwin. I'd love to see that, but they're not going to do that. They want him to try to build him up to be a left tackle.
Most of their players are multiple position players anyway. Am I correct?
Well, what you could do, and again, there's no guarantee that he's going to be good on the right. I mean, let's be clear here. He couldn't stay healthy.
Right, go sign guys that come in immediately and produce and solidify that offensive line in free agency.
Yeah.
We don't got time to draft guys and develop them. We're at a stage right now. We need to protect Dak now.
There's just no time for that.
Okay.
Wade's right.
Look how that worked for the Buffalo Bills. They went and got Miller, and he lasted. He had I think 6 months of good play, and now he's a no-show.
Well, he's gotten old.
You got to get the right guy.
Oh, that's a gamble. That's business. That's what I'm saying. You guys are spoiled, man. You need to get down and dirty and get some beans and bread and just eat for a minute. Give it time. We went 12-5 for 3 seasons in a row. We're not a scrub team. We're not a scrub.
No, and that's that. You know what the worst part about that is? Had the Cowboys made like 3 free agent signings on those teams, went out, got another receiver, gotten yourself a defensive tackle, and maybe another edge rusher, you could have been a Super Bowl champion. But we're so shorted in it. Now, this is what I hate to say. I've said it before. But we have literally we've reversed the roles of the 90s between us and the Eagles. Because it used to be the Eagles would talk about their 3 world championships. Oh, man, we were 3-time world champions. And we're like, man, fuck you in the world championships, man. That shit was before I was born. Yeah. It was before I was born. And now it's the Eagles actually winning. And we keep talking about, well, we got 5 rings. We got to stop talking about 5 rings. Right now, we ain't got shit.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I remember them. I'm old enough, but I'm almost 60. I'm ready to collect Social Security if it's still going to be there in 3 years. Okay? Seriously. Yeah. So for my son, who was alive, but he was, 4 or 5 years old, he doesn't really know what that experience was.
Yeah.
And we're dying off. So we can't think about, we got 5. Look, most of y'all don't even know anything about the guys that won those 5 rings.
Exactly.
Are you guys aware of who we got to play? Who both our teams have to play next year?
Oh, it's a killer schedule.
The schedule ain't gonna be forgiving.
What? Jesus.
Yeah, it's a killer schedule.
So what do you think? What do you think about drafting a speedster wide receiver first round?
No.
No, maybe second or
Depends
third.
who you're talking. But
I've been hearing all this talk about impact players. We don't have nobody that can go down the field and not run nobody.
Here's what the Cowboys.
We're at a point right now. Dak is getting injured.
You got to protect him.
An offensive line immediately.
And a running game.
We cannot draft and develop. We need to go get free agents and solidify the team. We need wide receivers who can get open right now, not 2-3 years down the line.
And that's what he did.
Dak's in the twilight of his career. We need a team now.
That's what he did with. That's why he hired Mike McCarthy, and you look where it got.
Problem with Mike McCarthy is he's always been pass heavy. He's always been a 60, 65, 70% passing coach. And the problem is you need balance. You need balance.
He didn't want to get nobody young.
Here's the thing. There's a couple of things that I will say. That Brian Schottenheimer saying that we want to run the ball more. That's great if we can actually run the ball more. It will help you in a multitude of reasons. One, like we did with DeMarco Murray, with Tony Romo, it gave you a balanced offense, so you had to worry about putting 8 men in the box and stopping DeMarco Murray. The Eagles just proved that fact, the fact that teams had to be worried about stopping Barkley, and that was Kansas City's whole game plan. Barkley is not going to run the football, and Jalen Hurts stepped into the breach and was able to deliver the ball. Whether you like him, hate him, or whatever else, they had a game plan and a team that was able to do that. If the Cowboys were able to get a running game and were balanced, then Dak Prescott becomes deadly with play action.
Well, Jalen,
okay, he's not taking as many shots. And then you can take a guy like Terrence Steele that everybody wants to throw off of the bus. He is a really good run blocker. But the problem is last year, we were always freaking passing. If I'm a defensive end and I know that I'm rushing the passer, I've already got my moves set in my head how I'm going to beat you. If I have to stop and for the run, hesitate for a moment, he will be a better offensive tackle. And maybe you don't need one if your running game is going to be legitimate because he is a great run blocker. But with Mike McCarthy, they're passing the ball over 60% of the time. He's exposed.
So do you think Mike McCarthy was taking advantage of Jerry Jones, and he was doing passing the ball instead of running?
Well, but here's the other part of it. Martin, shout out to Martin Holman, man. Thank you for what you do. Here's the problem also with the Joneses, though. You have to understand is the coach is also being dictated to. Do you think that Mike McCarthy really wanted to go ahead and run CeeDee Lamb 2 or 3 times a game?
Mm-hmm. No. I do.
No, I don't. Because
I don't.
No. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because Stephen Jones, he said, CeeDee Lamb, he got that big paycheck and stuff, and, it'll be real difficult to do things. He's going to have to get himself, 13 to 15 touches a game, so that way we can make up for it. So wait a minute. Understand this. He broke all of the Dallas Cowboys records, basically getting 10 touches a game the year before. And now you're saying he needs to get 3 to 5 more per game? How is that a winning philosophy? So putting him out there like he's Deebo Samuel, he didn't have the body to be a Deebo Samuels, to be running the football as much as he did. You fucked up because you didn't have the running game. You can't expect the receiver, just because you paid him, to now be your running back. So the narrative is set. We're paying Dak, so we're going to throw the football.
Okay. I like to see some play action pass and more running game for Dallas.
Well, that would make more sense. So
you need to get a running game first.
Run the ball, do that.
Right. You need to get a run. You need to get a running game first.
And you saw the first half of the season. We weren't even really focusing on running. I mean, we were running 62 yards a game in some of those games.
Cowboys could get real good real fast if they wanted to.
They could.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
Randolph and Baltimore Duke does, which is nothing.
I'm just saying, my whole thing.
As soon as Randolph and Baltimore Duke get off their ass and do something, we're screwed.
Yeah, Randolph.
Tell me they don't remind you of Randolph and Baltimore Duke off of Trading Places.
Yeah, well. Yeah, they do. Thomas, what's going on?
So what do you guys?
They need to sign Green. You know what? If they want to get good, they need to sign Greenlaw. They need to go get that Pro Bowl guard from Kansas City Chiefs. He's a free agent this year. Go scoop him up. You want to solidify your offensive line?
Yeah.
Trade Micah Parsons to the Cleveland Browns for Myles Garrett. Get their second overall pick. Trade back with the Raiders. Draft Genty. Draft a first-round wide receiver after that. Trade your 5th for Cooper Kupp. That's how you get good real fast.
Yeah, but
wait, hold it. Cleveland is not going to trade Micah Parsons in the number 2 pick, and eat money for Myles Garrett. That wouldn't even make any sense.
Us trading Micah Parsons to the Cleveland Browns for Myles Garrett and their second overall pick.
Why would I do that? I've already got Myles Garrett. Hold on, wait. I've already got Myles Garrett, who's as good as Micah Parsons, okay?
Myles Garrett wants out.
He may want out, but guess what? I can want a lot of things. I can want out of my marriage too, but my wife will kick my ass. But it's great that you want out, but the reality is you can't necessarily get out. You're telling me you want to appease him and give up your number 2 just to get one guy that you're gonna have to pay, and I'm gonna have to eat his money? There's no way in hell. That sounds great if you could get that to happen. Come on, man. That ain't gonna happen.
Trade Michael Parsons to the Seattle Seahawks for DK Metcalf and their first-round pick.
Okay.
Trade that first-round pick for Myles Garrett.
I would take that.
Why would you trade your best player on defense?
Exactly.
You can get good real quick if you trade Micah to Seattle. Get Metcalf in their first-round pick. Trade that first-round pick for Myles Garrett. You will have a Hall of Fame pass rusher, a starting wide receiver, just like that.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about.
That sounds good in theory, but you're not getting. If I was Cleveland, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but that's getting good real quick, like he said.
Okay, so the Cleveland Browns will trade Myles Garrett for a first-round pick.
That's short money, though. We don't want that. You don't want that. That's what Dallas is not about. That Dallas is for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 30 years
we don't got a long haul, but Dak's got about 4 years left in his career, probably. We don't got a long haul.
You can't say that, though, Edwin. They just won the Super Bowl.
We don't got a long haul.
Okay.
We suck right now.
Let me rephrase that. Let me put a better word in there.
They have a 4-year window to win a championship. The Cowboys got a 4-year window with Dak right now.
I got a vocabulary.
That's the way they set it up.
My vocabulary is not that strong. We have a better franchise than the Philadelphia Eagles. Am I right or wrong?
Wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Nobody spoke but you. And I can't figure out why you on this channel.
Here's why, Edwin. Here's why we got a rich franchise.
Team history?
Because the Joneses, or should I say Randolph and Baltimore Duke, they own the stadium. So they get revenue regardless of Dallas wins squat, any event they have. All these other teams, they don't own their stadiums.
But to your point, this is what I said. Before the Joneses, was Dallas a better franchise than the Philadelphia Eagles?
Of course, but that's irrelevant right now to me as a Cowboys
irrelevant.
fan. That's irrelevant to me as a Cowboys fan right now. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I need my team to
We
get
haven't
to
won
a
in 30 years.
championship.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant now.
But see, I don't know you, and I think Jerry Jones said the same thing. I don't know you because what I heard you said, trade my best defensive player, and then get an offensive lineman who just got blown out in the Super Bowl.
wide receiver
player.
Is that what you just said?
Listen, trade my best defensive player for another Hall of Fame defensive player and a second overall pick.
Yeah.
You're damn right I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Who's older?
You get the second
all right.
overall
So let me bring up another mega trade like that too. In September of 2018, following Khalil Mack's holdout, the Raiders traded him a second-round pick and a conditional 2020 fifth-round pick to the Bears for their first-round pick, okay, where they actually used to get Josh Jacobs, and a 2020 first-round pick that they got to Damone Lamonte, as well as a 2019 sixth-round pick, as well as a third-round pick, and so on. And what did it do for the Raiders?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Okay. Picks are just picks.
What are we saying? That Myles Garrett is Khalil Mack?
Khalil Mack was pretty damn good. Khalil Mack got two number ones for him.
I know two. Just because they're old don't mean they're bad. How about Bobby Wagner and Demario Davis? They're old and they're still two of the best linebackers in the NFL.
But nobody traded traded a guy who's gotten 52 sacks in his first 4 years for him.
You can buy
so if they trade their second overall pick with Myles Garrett, though, Mark.
Wait, Walker. Wait a minute, Walker. You got to remember. You got to preference everything with. You're saying you're just giving the recipe on getting good fast.
I'm getting the recipe to get good, Leo. If
you were
the GM of the Cowboys and you called Cleveland up, said, "Hey, would you trade Myles Garrett in that second overall pick for Micah?" If they said yes,
I'm taking it.
I
would do the same.
That. You would be.
Yeah, I would do like I would.
All right, I hear what you're saying, but.
Garrett's got what, 2 years maybe?
Because I would even do the Seattle trade that Walker just talked about. Because now I got my number 2 wide receiver next to CD, and I got
and their first round pick.
And their first round pick. Like, please. And then what you do is you just think about this, y'all. Look at who we got for Carson Wentz. We got AJ Brown, we got Jalen Carter, and we got Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
for Carson Wentz.
When you drafted Jalen Carter, it was like, oh, he's a bust.
Remember, Mark, we're
and
a draft-heavy team. We're not going to do anything in free agency. I'm trying to.
I hear you. I hear you on that one. But I'm sitting here where everybody keeps talking about first-round picks, and I'm thinking about Tyler Guyton, and I'm thinking about Mozzie Smith. And if I turn around and trade Micah Parsons, and that's what I end up with, then I'm fucked.
Well, you end up with Myles Garrett in the second overall pick. You could trade back and get 2 first-round picks for that second, Mark. You'd have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 next year. The Eagles did that, and they stacked their team up and went to a Super Bowl.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm looking at my defense, and I'm still saying, yeah, I'm getting rid of Micah, but I'm bringing in Garrett, right? That sounds great. But I still have problems with the defensive line, my secondary, and safety. I still have so many holes. I'm looking at that where that's like I'm trading the same.
You think Mark? You see it more of as a lateral move.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You're saying we're getting the number 2 overall pick, which I wouldn't be doing that. If I'm Cleveland, I'm not giving up the number 2 overall pick. No.
Cleveland are a bunch of idiots. They'll do it.
Can I give an example? Can I get an example of that trade he just
mentioned? Wait. Are we talking about the same Cleveland's? Wait. Are we talking about the same Cleveland Browns that ended up getting Amari Cooper for a 5th? And we have the nerve to talk about somebody being stupid trading?
Okay, you got a point there.
See, here you seem to think, you all keep seeming to think that the Cowboys are shrewd people when it comes to fucking trades. We gave up a 4th from Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo for a 4th-round pick.
You gotta forgive me. I'm an Eagles fan.
Come on, man.
Accustomed to my GM doing the
Cowboys get hosed when they make trades, man. We gave up a number 1 for CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry, for Amari Cooper and trade him for a 5th. We give up a 4th for freaking Trey Lance. That's a fucking bust. We give up a 4th for Jonathan Mingo. We gave up 2 number 1s for Joey Galloway. We gave up a 1st and a 2nd for Roy Williams. And now all of a sudden you think they're going to be shrewd and get the best of a trade?
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, man. We're talking about Stephen fucking Jones, man.
Duke.
Come on, man.
I'm trying to give us hope, Mark. I'm trying to give us hope. Come on now. I'm trying to
giving you hope?
That's what the Giants thought too.
Trust me. Hold it. Just tell me. Tell me after not counting Herschel Walker and Jimmy Johnson years, okay? In the Jerry Jones era, name me one trade that Jerry Jones has done without Jimmy Johnson that's been good.
Nothing.
Deion Sanders is the only one I can think of.
Shit, I mean,
they didn't trade for him.
I mean,
that was signing. They trade for, but Charles Haley, but that was during Jimmy Johnson's time.
That trade he just mentioned, Mark, is like the Giants traded Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles.
They didn't trade him. They just released him.
Trade him.
They got nothing for that.
Let's see.
Don't be so technical, man. The same thing.
They got nothing.
Okay.
You got to be specific.
For you verbal wizards, they got rid of him.
They let him go.
No, they did not. No.
He was an unrestricted free agent. He decided to
rid of him. They wouldn't pay the man.
No.
They wouldn't pay the man.
Yeah, Edwin, you're right. But listen. All we're saying is that you got to be mindful about terminology here because it sets a.
This is football we're talking about.
Right.
So game. We're not talking about going to English class.
Guys did not trade
Why are you here on this channel?
Obviously to educate you. I have to educate you right now.
No, you're not here to educate.
Yes, I am.
To hang out with the guys, to hang out with Mark. You are a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Go celebrate your Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles.
We had the parade yesterday. By the way, they're showing the NFC Championship game right now on NFL Network if you want to go check the tape.
Are you
serious?
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you need to.
You're an instigator.
Yes, I am.
You're a mole.
Thank you.
They're showing the 1995 NFC Championship with the Cowboys right now. I'm watching that one.
Browns Radio said 2 number 1s minimum for Garrett.
Hey, Leo, you got 2 foes and you just got them mixed up.
2 foes?
You got 2 opponents in this chat, and you just got them mixed up.
Yes.
You just got them mixed up because you told Edwin to go watch the Commanders.
I'm trying to give us some sort of dream, Mark. I'm trying to give us some way to build in the draft, some way, somehow, Mark. We got to do this.
Oh, you guys.
No, I was just. You're right. I know what you're saying, Derek, but no, I didn't.
I know trading Michael Parsons sounds crazy, Mark, but damn, I'm trying to think of something to get.
He was the only thing that kept that defense going.
Michael will get you the biggest return on investment.
No,
that's all I'm saying. That's the way I see it.
No,
you get a bigger return on investment trading Micah right now because you're getting rid of. First of all, you're getting rid of the headache.
You're not right, Drew.
The distraction. All that stuff. Plus, you're probably going to end up getting maybe 1 or 2 first rounders, at least 1, and a couple of second rounders or whatever.
I would rather trade CeeDee Lamb than trade Michael Parsons.
Guess what? You don't have to pay him. You know what I'm saying?
So a bird in the hand beats 2 in the feathers. I've got a guy who's primo right now. Do I look and say I can find a Micah Parsons tomorrow in the draft? That's going to. Okay.
Myles Garrett's older.
Myles Garrett is older.
Yeah, he's older.
Everyone's saying Myles Garrett's older, but he wins Defensive Player of the Year every damn year. I'm tired of people saying that.
Okay. You know what? You know what people used to also say, too, about Brandon Cooks? He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year. He's a 1,000-yard receiver everywhere he goes. But he's old as shit now.
Zach
Martin. Zach Martin was all pro every year, and all of a sudden he hit a wall this year, didn't he? Right?
Say that about Bobby Wagner.
Well, that's there are exceptions to the rules.
Can't say that about Tom Brady.
Okay, well, there are exceptions to the rules. But I would rather go ahead and err on the side of I got a guy that right now I know is a baller. And that my defense, when he came back, responded and ended up being one of the most sacking teams and getting takeaways, with the difference being him on the field.
Well, okay, so how about you just trade your first round pick this year for Myles Garrett and have Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett?
Well, that would be great too, but here's the thing. I tell you what, I would do that, but they're not going to take just a number one. They want two.
They just took a number one, you called up Cleveland, hey, take a first round pick for Myles Garrett. Would you pull the trigger on that, Mark?
I would say that if you were talking about if the Eagles were offering a first round pick versus the Cowboys, there's a major difference between the two. They might take something like that. But if you can get him for a number one, I'd be more than happy to do that.
I wouldn't do that unless it's number 4. Well, 44.
Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons next to each other on that defensive line, man.
Because if I did that, then I'd be okay with letting Osis and Digazua go.
Okay.
Because then I would save the $20 million from him.
Because you get the guy back on the defensive end when he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
Isn't Osis still on his rookie contract?
Yeah, he is. Well, he's a free agent now.
Yeah.
Would you trade a 5th for Cooper Kupp?
Hell yes. We traded a 4 for Jonathan Mingo. What the fuck?
Well, let's go. Well, hey, maybe the Rams. Would trade Cooper Kupp for a 5th. Unload him. Skip one of our
wouldn't Cooper Kupp be sort of kind of like the thing that you don't want to do because you guys have gotten burnt from doing that in the past?
No, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is injury prone.
Haven't you guys brought older wide receivers like that in, and then they end up not really doing all that well for you guys?
Because it's not going to be a whole lot of money. It's not going to cost a whole lot of money.
Well, the Rams are going to eat a bunch of his contract.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not going to cost a whole lot of money.
So because they don't want to, they don't want to pay all the bonus money and stuff. So they're going to eat some of the contract to move on from him. So you could probably get him for cheaper. And Cooper Kupp, if you added him with CeeDee Lamb, would take off so much pressure. Here's the thing, and maybe it's not Myles Garrett. I hear what you're saying, Walker Wade, but maybe it's not him. Maybe there's another defensive end that we can just sign in free agency where it just costs us money. I'm not saying that. I mean, I would love to have Myles Garrett, but that may be too much. Now, I don't know all the lists
you could trade for. Mark, you're eyeing out there.
I would. Here's what I would rather do. It's either I'm gonna pay money or I'm gonna pay draft picks. I don't want to do both. Okay.
Okay.
So if we're talking about trying to get somebody, I can guarantee you there's a defensive end out there that'll be a free agent that would help this team immediately.
We need a one technique though, for sure.
Okay. Yes, without a doubt. And those guys we don't necessarily have to trade for. We can just restructure and spend money on. Why are we saying let's throw away our draft picks and Micah Parsons to get Myles Garrett? I mean, wait a minute. What? Yeah, we need to keep those, and we need to supplement them. I would rather go through and try and help the good players that I have here and surround them with talent that wins than getting rid of them. It doesn't make any sense to me where Dak just sucks. He can't win it on his own. Nobody is. Then why not get him a running back? Get him a good offensive line. Get a receiver. You saw Jalen Hurts, who's an average quarterback, win the Super Bowl because he had a great offensive line, great running backs, and great receivers.
And don't forget, because he had a running back got traded away, the best player on that team.
Yeah.
Do you think Philadelphia would have won the Super Bowl without Barkley?
No.
No. And they also won it without AJ.
Thank you.
And we wouldn't have won one without Jalen either.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody asked you about Jalen, man.
No, I'm just saying,
here.
The only reason.
Don't Philadelphia have a podcast?
Philadelphia never got in.
I got one. I got one. First section.
What you gonna do that then?
I did.
Every weekend I come on this thing and I hear you talking about Philadelphia. I like Philly, man.
If I were you, I would feel the same way right about now.
No, look how Philadelphia treated McNabb. Look how they treated Terrell Owens. Look how they treated Randall Cunningham. Man,
and now look at how we treated Jalen Hurts.
Huh?
Look at how we treated Jalen Hurts.
Oh, how you treated him? Did you buy him a house?
Give him all the tools he needed to be successful. You just saw it.
Oh, come on, man.
Blame you, man. I feel for you. I don't even. Like, damn, you having a rough time. Hey, look, we watched Mark crash out last week. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Me and you, because my words are not strong enough for you. So let me put it this way: 2 fighters in the ring.
Right.
Who's the best fighter? The one that hurt somebody, or the one that got the most championship belts?
Well,
don't let it take all day, man. I ain't got all day now. Come on.
I'm trying to understand the one.
You should do that. You talk about being so articulate with your vocabulary. That's here.
Just want to make sure
who's got the best? Who's the best fighter?
Out of the one who has the most championships, or the one that has who hurts people?
Who does the most damage? He's more popular.
Better fighter, the one that does the most damage.
That's why you're a Philadelphia fan and I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Money talk, bullshit walk.
Right.
Yeah, but we ain't done shit in 30 years though.
There you go.
Coming from see?
Oh, come on, man.
We ain't done shit in 30 years.
You have to do it.
What is
wrong last time we did shit?
Because I don't know you.
I'm about to be a middle-aged man right now. 35 years old, still waiting.
You could be a mole. You could be a mole trying to disrupt everything. You talking about trading the best defensive player we got for an old man that's going to last 2 years to win now. Jerry Jones' name is synonymous with Dow Jones, stock market, long money. We're not here for the short term, man. We're long-time fans. I've been Dallas Cowboys when they beat the Miami Dolphins, and nobody thought they could beat them.
I'm born and raised here in Dallas, Texas, and I have not seen. I'm 35 years old. I have not seen this team hold up one Lombardi Trophy. Period. The city of Dallas is tired of this shit. Everybody's tired of this shit.
We're tired of them. That's the problem. What about San Diego Chargers? I ain't never heard them win a Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons.
That's because they're shit organizations.
Huh?
It's because they're shit organizations.
No, that's because Jerry Jones won't let nobody like you handle his money.
Edwin, you do realize that Mark Holmes got on this and said, not even at the beginning of this of this stream, he said it feels like there's been a shift where the Cowboys are where the Eagles used to be, and the Eagles are where the Cowboys are in terms of the reminders of the 90s.
So where does that put the Washington Redskins in that conversation?
Exactly. See, you're stuck in the 90s.
No, I'm not.
I'm
talking about right now. I'm talking about right now. Jerry Jones is about history and
you are too. But you're talking. You're talking
Jerry
as
Jones takes a spit. He spits on our history with his bullshit GMing and managing this team.
This whole way of being, you do realize a very large part of your fan base cannot begin to empathize or understand where this is coming from you.
And that word right there, what you just said about the fan base, that's that bullshit I'm talking about. You have no idea what the fan base is about. You have no idea.
I know what the fan base feels. I live here in Dallas. Oh, I know what the fan base feels. I live here in Dallas, and they are sick and tired of this shit.
But you living in Dallas don't have nothing to do with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. I can move to Dallas and say I live in Dallas. That ain't no big deal.
Dude, you are out of touch.
I have lived this sports scene in this city for 35 years.
Okay.
This way of talking, this way of looking at your team, you're out of touch.
What's that green stuff on the corner of your mouth when you talk, man?
It is 2025.
What's that green stuff on the corner of your mouth? That is gross, man.
And you are officially out of touch.
No, you are English teacher and we trying to play football.
I'm just saying, bruh. You don't even hear yourself. You talking about we went for the long haul. Long haul. Do you not hear your fan base? They're up here talking about
y'all trying to see us win tomorrow, Mark, or 10 years from now, Mark? Because I
may not have 10 years these days, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm 59 years old, man.
We ain't waiting for no long haul.
But you one fan, man. Don't just jump on the bandwagon and jump off.
My starting quarterback went to elementary school, junior high school, college. and the Super Bowl twice in this long haul that you've been talking about.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. You are out of touch, bro. You are way out of touch.
I got a good example of being out of touch. Who is the better football team? Franchise. Let me correct myself because we got to be verbally correct. Is Buffalo a better franchise than Philadelphia?
No. No way, shape, or form.
They have won a Super Bowl.
Minnesota Vikings a better franchise than Philadelphia?
No way, shape, or form.
What about the Los Angeles Rams?
No.
No. What?
No.
Angelica Barron, Miss Puppy.
I don't know. What about the San Francisco 49ers? They a better franchise?
No.
They're a better franchise.
Huh?
They are a better franchise, yes.
Okay. New England Patriots are a better franchise?
They're the best franchise.
Huh? What do you mean no?
They were.
What do you mean no?
No.
They were.
The best team in the NFL.
No, we are.
New England Patriots.
No, we are. We just won the Super Bowl, bro. See, out of touch.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man!
Look, we just got to give it to the Eagles. They won. It is what it is.
I gave him that. I'm just tired of him. I'm tired of him being on this podcast and trying to promote this propaganda.
He's crashing out.
What propaganda?
He's crashing out. Somebody,
propaganda with this stuff all in his face and all this.
What are you
Go to Philadelphia and talk to. Oh.
This is
Mark,
really
tough. You just like Jerry Jones. This is your business, man. I can't run it for you.
I look like Jerry Jones right now on my screen right here.
Yeah.
I see that.
Jerry Yoda.
Okay. Here's what okay. Let me say this, Wade. I still believe that having Micah Parsons makes us a better team. I'm not going to dispute that having Myles Garrett would be helpful. But if we start talking about having to give up either Micah Parsons or two number ones, there are other avenues out there where you might be able to get some other players. I would look at it and say there's strength in numbers. Instead of saying let's get one lights out player, let's go ahead and get ourselves like three really good ones. And if we can hold on,
Greenlaw, get a good.
There you go. Right.
Greenlaw. You got Danielle Hunter. You got a lot of free.
Yeah. Go get a good guard in the free agency.
Right.
Mark, would you take Khalil Mack?
Kind of like they did in 2007. Mark, Kyle Kosar. They signed Leonard Davis. Go get some good.
That's what I'm saying. Because we are, to me, we are more than just one big player away. We need to fix the offensive line. We need to fix the running game. We need to have another weapon, a number 2 wide receiver. We need help on the defensive line. We need help on edge rushing. We need linebacker and probably safety. And if we go ahead and say, we're just going to go ahead and get Myles Garrett, that's great for selling jerseys. That'll be great to get some excitement.
Mark, tight end. You don't forget tight end and wide receiver.
Well, tight end, I think Ferguson will be okay. He was he was injured, and actually Schoonmaker started to actually make some hay. And you have to understand, it's kind of like the neck bone's connected to the shoulder bone and all that stuff. All of these things are connected. If they get the offensive line right and they do more balanced running attack, the tight ends are going to be that much more effective. And I think Schoonmaker is a good blocker. Ferguson is a good blocker too. And if I'm going to believe Brian Schottenheimer, where he's talking about doing multiple plays from one look, 12 personnel is one of those things that you do. It helps the running game, and it also makes the defense decide, am I going to try and put 8 men in the box to stop the run game, or do I have to cover tight ends that are going out in routes? And that's the problem we had is, I think because we had so many new pieces last year and so many injuries, the Cowboys didn't count on Brandon Cooks having a knee injury. And he wasn't effective for them. So now all of a sudden you had CeeDee Lamb, who wasn't in training camp, working out. And now he finally comes back. We got to rush and get him into the offense. You got Jalen Tolbert now as your number 2 receiver. You got Jalen Brooks and everybody else who's, never played in the NFL as your 3rd wide receiver, and you got no running game. You had so many things that handicapped you to start out the season that there was no way that you could do anything. And because you had all these changes, I think that Mike McCarthy had to dumb down a lot of the offense. You had Tyler Guyton, who was always getting freaking pre-snap penalties. So if you're getting guys that are having pre-snap penalties, I can't go ahead and try and put people in motion and try and change it up. I got to simplify this shit for these fucking idiots. And it's all cause and effect.
You actually got a point.
You can look and say, well, Dak sucked this year. Well, I didn't work out all season with my number 1 wide receiver. My number 2 wide receiver left training camp early to go back because he had a problem with his knee and couldn't play. I have, we're trying to do running back by committee. We got, Vaughn. We got Dalvin Cook. We got Zeke. And we got Rico. We don't even know who's going to be the starting running back, really. And I got 2 rookie offensive linemen that are now starting, including my center and my left tackle. My left tackle, who was ass. So I got to constantly look and see, is this motherfucker, when anybody goes on the inside, he's holding them or they're getting the sack?
Wait a minute, Mark, and God forbid somebody get hurt.
And then then everybody kept getting hurt.
Yeah, right. All the injuries we had.
Right.
But out of the madness of all that,
Milt's 36, Marcone's fly, go fly. Hurts best in the division, best in the league. I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the league, bro. He's in the best situation right now. And see, what always amazes me is how everybody thinks. Let me do it like this. Saquon, is Saquon a better running back now than when he first got into the league? Is his body okay? Huh?
Yeah.
No. Okay. His best year with the Giants was 5 yards per carry average and 1,340 yards. Do we really believe that he's almost a yard better running back now than he was then?
Yeah.
In 2000, no, he broke the record because would he have broken the record if he had been on the Giants this year?
No.
Then that's where, there you go. You just made my argument. Having a team in a situation changes what you're able to do. Because he's not on the Giants, he probably would have been injured on the Giants this year and not made it through the season.
Absolutely.
Right? You understand that, right? Because he was in a situation with a great offensive line, he was able to get 2,000 yards. He ain't getting that with the Jets. Okay?
Yeah.
He's not getting that with the Giants. And
that's what you just saw is what it looks like when you put
when you've got a good offensive line in front of him and multiple weapons where it's not just me. And the same can be said for the quarterback. When you've got a running back, we saw Tony Romo only have to throw for like 3,800 yards and have 37 TD passes when we had DeMarco Murray. It was his best year. Why? Because you had a running game to help make it easier. When we had years of it's just Tony Romo, he's throwing more. It's Tony Ono. He's throwing picks.
Right. Well, one thing you have to realize, Mark, and I think this is what you keep trying to point out, you know what I'm saying, is that when you actually make the investment, you don't need a quarterback that has to throw the ball 45 times. You may only need a quarterback
Dwayne Sweeney says, but Saquon didn't do much in the Super Bowl. And that's where I'm going to have to disagree with you.
No,
because thank you. Because of what he had done all season long, Kansas City said, we cannot let him run free. And they put 8 men in the box to stop him.
That was their only plan, Mark. That was their only plan.
And that's why they got beat. So, but whether I'm a decoy or not, I'm trying to make. Was it?
Did that and they let Jalen Hurts.
Was it Terrell Davis? Was it Terrell Davis who was knocked literally, basically unconscious, and they said, "We need you to go out there and basically be a decoy"?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't know what the plays were, but literally because his presence was out there, it opened up the play for them for Elway to throw the touchdown.
Yes, their only plan. It's like when you think about this, Mark. Think about this. For an entire week, the Washington Commanders were told, you got to stop Saquon.
There you go.
You got to stop Saquon. That's all they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the whole week. And then on the first offensive play, he runs it in for a 67-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That in of itself can be demoralizing when you've spent
all week
worrying about one person. The Kansas City Chiefs literally spent 2 weeks practicing for one player, and it was just Saquon. So him being out there, and he still got him for almost 100 yards.
Yeah, well, add him and Jalen Hurts together, it was probably over 100 between the two.
So let me ask you, can I ask this question right here? If Philadelphia did not have Barkley, and they didn't have AJ Brown, would they be in contention of any kind of work?
No.
Thank you. Two players.
No. Wait, no.
AJ Brown. If they didn't have AJ Brown and Saquon,
if we didn't have, he's saying if we didn't have AJ Brown or Saquon Barkley, would we be able to contend? I say yes, because you still have that offensive line,
and you still have a great defense, but your offense ain't gonna be as good.
No. So to answer Edwin's question, if you're taking Saquon and AJ away, you still have.
Okay, let me answer the super chat.
You got Devontae. You still have
a
squad.
But you're loaded. Listen, you're loaded everywhere. Okay, we got that. Yeah. Milts36 says, thank you for the super chat here, that Skip Bayless done flipped on the Cowbums. Nobody gives a rat's ass about Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is the same motherfucker who started a rumor about Troy Aikman being gay and then writes a book about Troy Aikman being gay. Well, people are talking about it. Jackass, you're the one that's talking about it. Skip Bayless is trying to stay relevant. Man, come on. Nobody gives a rat's. You know, shit, with Skip Bayless, my numbers, and I'm a nobody in my basement, are almost as good as Skip Bayless's.
Wow.
Seriously.
Probably better.
Shit. Wow. Well, no, he that last video he had where he went off on Dak Prescott got him a couple 100,000 views, which have bumped him up a little bit. But
that'll do it. Yeah.
But you know, I'm consistent at least. Okay, this shit's crazy. Come on, man. But
Skip Bayless is somewhere trying to buy some booty for $1 million.
I'm serious, man. I'm like, you know, my wife is watching some. Oh my God. You know, I love my wife, and she finds, you know, shows that she likes to watch, that some of them are pretty good. But the problem is she has to watch them all. If there's a season or 2 seasons, she's going to sit there and watch it constantly. And so there's this show on, Sisters or something or other, that's got like 8 seasons. And so she's got her on, she's in the kitchen, it's on in the kitchen, you know, I go to bed at night, she's watching it and falling asleep, and I'm like, turn on the TV, I'm watching it. And it's just like, but this show, the show is crazy because there's this rich guy who's literally trying to buy this woman. He done bought her a penthouse apartment, and his office is across the street, so he's watching with the telescope and everything else, bought her a Rolls Royce and all this jewelry and everything else, and it's like, listen, bro, there ain't no coochie out there that's worth millions of dollars. I'm sorry,
is this the
bro.
one where the chick ended up pulling a gun on him?
It's man, so many people. Look, preacher has a wife that shot herself in the head and shit. We're just crazy. I mean,
it's
dude
Tyler
keeps.
Perry.
It's a Tyler Perry shit, man. Yeah. And I'm just like. I come to bed and it's like, and my wife has got it on. I was like, oh shit. Here we go.
I don't know if you remember that video, the clip that went viral from that show was when the guy got hit and he spent around like a little.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
That's sister.
Wait. I just want to say,
it's stupid, man.
Because we had a conversation when you stopped recording last week, and I just want to say to Thomas, hey yo, Thomas. Remember all the things I said? How I put myself out there?
Oh, you put yourself out there. But you know what? You stood up and congratulations on that shit.
Congratulations. All that's got to say is...
Thomas,
hold on, Aisha. All that's got to say is see if you can run that shit back.
Well, that's going to be the hard part. And
all right, so I think we can.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I really think we can. I really
Monique, yes. What's up, Monique's she's like, don't be talking about my show.
Thomas, how's your sister? Is she annoying you right now?
And so, and the worst thing about that show is, okay, now my wife's been watching it. Look, she's been watching this stuff. I'm like, how many seasons of it? And she's going through. She's like, there's 8 seasons of it. I said, what season are you on? Yep. 2.
And they 40-minute episodes.
Okay, and then to make it even worse, so she got through the first 4, and so then she found out that she got to go to BET. So then it's like, oh, well, we don't have a subscription to BET now. BET Plus. It's like, oh shit. So it's like, you still got 4 seasons, And now to come to find out, there's going to be a spinoff of it. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. We have, what is it?
Shit.
Zatima is the
spinoff.
Yeah.
Now, I keep getting myself in trouble because I keep saying,
Mark,
I said, that booty she got on her.
Mark, I think your wife was watching Sisters, that Tyler Perry show.
Yeah, that's what she's watching. But Sister Girl, she thick. She thick. But anyway.
You said it 3 times.
No, it's funny because the funniest part was my wife was watching it last night or the night before, right?
True.
And Fatima had on some pants, and I said, those pants aren't her friend. It just did not look good with the pants. And my wife busted out laughing. She said, I was thinking the same thing. She's like, those pants just weren't her. What's for? Anyway, I digress because my wife is probably watching it as we speak.
You know she is.
I know she is. Because she'll fall asleep on it in the middle of the night, and then I'll come down and she's watching TV, and it's like, I saw that. Well, I backed it up. It's like, shit.
You know what's going on, Mark. You know she's
like,
it and not telling you.
I'm like, he's going to be looking through the telescope, at her, and the other guy, the preacher, going to come in and say, what the fuck you doing, and shit like that. She's like,
hey, Mark, it gets crazier and crazier.
And I'm just like,
it's Tyler Perry.
I'm just like, why is dude? Okay, it's like, dude, let it go, okay?
Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Go ahead. I keep telling my wife he's gonna finally lose it and kill somebody.
This is coming up. Well, this might be in season 7, I think.
Oh shit! But 3 seasons away.
One of the girlfriends gets pregnant with twins and 2 baby daddies.
Oh, that ain't possible, man. Come on now. That ain't possible.
But hold the one woman who so hold it. Then there's the dude that keeps I don't remember everybody's name, but dude keeps getting
shit now.
No. Listen, this one dude who got rich. I tell you where we are with it. Where he got rich from the tip where he put the $20,000 and became a millionaire, and then the congresswoman's wife was basically like, if you don't sleep with me, and I was like, did they get the ugliest white woman that they could find? I'm like, you know what? Just put me in jail, man. I couldn't do that shit. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. How did? If you don't sleep with me,
what you sipping on?
Oh my God, this show.
That's True Drink. It's sugar free. You can get it at Kroger.
Okay.
True Drink.
Sugar
free, and you get it at Kroger in a powder.
And
you pour it in a glass in a little package. Yeah, it's a sugar free drink.
Yeah, but are you mixing it with something? What you mixed it with?
That's confidential, bro. I can't tell you that, man.
What's wrong with you, man? I got to go back to Derek J, who's got the scoop here, because we just got the stripper who's come in with the baby that swears that it's his son from a one-night stand.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his son?
Oh, you want me to spoil it for real?
It doesn't matter because my wife's going to be a half a season ahead, I hope, by the time I get back to tomorrow.
That's his son.
That's his son. Okay. Now, the other woman who's pregnant, the hairdresser, that's really the minister's son that she don't want him to be the father of, right?
No, that's the 2 baby daddies.
How is it? She got twins. How is it that they got 2 separate baby daddies?
She got twins.
Nah, come on now.
Because if you remember,
I remember he was jumping off. Yeah, he got caught in the back room with her.
He got caught in the back room, and then she slept with Zach soon after that.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we're saying we got 2 eggs fertilized Come on, man. No. Damn. So we had we had two different sperms. They swimming together and shit. Oh, come on, man.
That part was
you know what? I'm gonna call my wife and just spoil that shit. I'm gonna tell her that shit now. Baby, stop watching that shit. They both daddy. They're both baby daddies.
The preacher dude was in the girl's back office with her. Zach comes in. He says, the preacher dude went out, was gone for like 3 minutes, came back to get his phone. and
she's up,
down with it. And
Whew. Holly Pierce says that does happen. All righty.
Yeah, it's rare. It's very, very rare.
So she let go 2 eggs at the same time. She was ovulating 2 eggs. Okay.
Hey, Leo, this is Ruku Jen.
Happened on more before. It gotta be
Ruku Jen. Got it.
I'm texting my wife right now.
Okay. I was wondering if it was brown, but okay, it's white.
How you gonna mix brown to get that color? Come on now.
No. I didn't see the color at first. I just was trying to figure out what you was sipping on.
All right, Mr. Controversy. I'm gonna ask you again. Why are you on this channel, man?
To educate you, to get you right, to get your mind right.
Oh shit. All right, I just texted my wife. Oh my God, you won't believe this shit on your show. Okay, and then I won't tell her. And and when I get back there, I'm gonna be like, it's coming. Shut up. Yeah.
I don't even want to watch it now. I don't want to watch it now.
Oh, you want to see Fatima? You want to watch it just for that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course the lawyer, she always got the girls are always out. I'm kind of like, what the hell are you doing? I was saying to I said, how is she an attorney? And she got just literally falling out, right? And what's funny is Fatima said, you need to put them things back in because they're falling out. Me and my wife looked at each other like, okay, we just said that. All right. Anyway, anything is better than talking about the Cowboys, I guess. Matt's like, I'm lost.
I was just about to say, Mark, it sounds like you're a lot more committed than you realize.
Oh, look, bro. Unfortunately, I have woken up at 3:30 in the morning and it's still playing. Yeah. And see what happens, just like you and that fucking train right there behind you.
Yes, sir.
We got the railroad tracks that are close by, and so you can barely hear it, and you kind of feel that vibration. And I was in the middle because when you hear stuff like that, it becomes part of your dream.
Dreams. Yep.
I literally had a dream where you were sitting your big ass behind on top of the train with the green smoke, and it was just rolling by, and you just waving and saying, fuck the Cowboys. And at the same time, I woke up, the fucking train is going down the tracks. And I'm listening, like, fucking Leo's riding the damn train out there. So the show will be on, and I will get inserted into the fucking show, okay? Like I'm a character of this shit, okay? I'm out here playing basketball with them and all that, wondering, how is it all these guys know each other and shit, man? Pass me the ball. I got next. It's like, please. Cause here's how bad it got, okay? Because my wife got the remote control, because I'm doing my fireside chat. My wife goes to bed before me and stuff. And so she's in the room. She's got the TV and rules dictate. First one there's got control of it. And so she'll fall asleep, and then I'm looking for the remote, and it's somewhere in the bed. I can't find the damn remote to turn the damn thing off. So I went out, I bought me another remote that I have in the nightstand, so that way I can grab and turn this shit off. And every time I do, she's up here. I'm watching it. What do you turn it off for?
These are so we got the TV off because it's
oh shit. Look, I sent the text. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Your show. We've had a discussion about sisters on here. And I know something about that show that you don't know. You haven't gotten to yet that you ain't gonna believe. Huh?
You don't want to know.
Oh, I got to tell you. Oh, you ain't going to believe this shit. Tyler Perry done came up with some real shit now.
It's some real nasty, ratchet ass.
It's nasty, ratchet shit here.
Yes.
Okay. You want me to tell you? Okay. All right. Huh?
No, she don't want you to tell her.
Okay. I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Love you, baby. She called. What?
Now, Mark, what you gonna do is this? What's gonna happen? You're gonna be making little snide, little remarks and everything like that.
Like damn.
And she gonna be like,
she a stank asshole.
So they said, according to Google, it's only happened 19 times where a woman has been pregnant with twins by two men.
19 times. Wow. And 20 with Tyler Perry's show. I mean, I don't even know how you dream something like that up. I would have never thought that because I thought only like one egg gets released a month.
Listen, Tyler Perry is from the rough streets of New Orleans. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Tyler Perry was from Atlanta.
Well, that's what
he lives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, he lives in Douglasville.
Tyler Perry's from the 9th Ward.
Yep.
Tyler Perry mess around and had somebody in a coma on his show for 2 seasons.
Exactly. So I wouldn't I wouldn't put it past Tyler Perry.
2 years to lay there. Good gracious.
Don't ruin the show for her. Oh, now, you know what's going to happen is I'm going to go into her. She's going to be watching and all that and stuff. I'm going to say, I said, has she found out she's pregnant with twins yet?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh, you haven't got that far yet?
Hey, Mark, you ever saw Madea? Him playing Madea?
Yeah, I've never been a big Tyler Perry fan. The whole Madea, it's like, yeah, sorry. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you. I pay for YouTube TV, but my TV has not been on since the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I have not watched any TV. I don't have time to. I honestly don't. Between trying to keep up with YouTube and the Cowboys and
Mark,
cooking and everything else.
Let me give you a real quick synopsis because it's been wonderful watching the pundits have to struggle with the narrative regarding Jalen Hurts. You know, the people. There's only been a handful of people who have actually apologized openly for the things that they've said about Jalen Hurts, and then you see there's ones that are struggling with it.
Hey, look here. Hey, I'm glad you won a Super Bowl, Leo.
Yeah.
We Dallas Cowboy fans, man. I get tired of hearing about Philly, man.
Look at here, Leophis. I don't know what you talking about.
Well, I'm mad admit when I'm wrong. And, whatever. Don't change nothing.
I started the season
that I was going to do. You want to say something like, hey, Mark, when we going to talk about the NFL draft? I can understand that, but then talking about Philly, I'm not a Philly fan.
I agree with you on that one, man.
They listen to you talk that, man.
Chris.
All right, we done lost control of this shit here.
Mark said his TV been on all week. Mine been on. Let me tell you what happened. Dan Orlovsky apologized.
Fuck Dan Orlovsky.
Sorry. Yeah, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Forget Skip Bayless. You know what I'm saying? Shady been talking shit all week. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, having to rethink how they look at the quarterback position, how they evaluate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you gotta. They talk about how he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls. He just came up short in one. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it's a lot. It's been a lot going on. And we had the parade yesterday, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
What do you think about?
Okay.
Did you watch the parade?
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore, so I had to mute him. See how long before he realizes it.
Good, very good for Leo to talk. So can I have somebody explain to me about the NFL draft? What are our prospects? What we're looking at?
We're going to start working. Look, listen, we've got the combine in less than 2 weeks. Okay. Leo still doesn't realize that we muted him. Okay.
No, he realized it. He realized it. He just.
Okay. It's like enough Eagle talk. Okay. We will start focusing in on the draft and stuff, but we got free agency. And see, for us, everything is going to be dictated by what we do in free agency. Are we going to sign any of our own players? Are we going to replace Osin Digazua, are we going to have to place Rico and so on? Are we going to be looking and saying we believe in our guys and so on, and we're do nothing free agency, in which case we got to draft a safety, a defensive lineman, edge rusher, offensive lineman, wide receiver, running back with not enough picks?
Did Rico play good enough to be traded for to get compensation?
He's a free agent. Can't trade a free agent.
So let him go and draft your running back, like you said.
Or you hold on to him.
Nah, come on, Mark.
I'm just saying. What this guy does, I have no idea. It makes no rhyme or reason.
Question: what do you think about that running back from? I think it's from Iowa. I think his last name is Johnson.
He's pretty good.
Well, I can guarantee you, Jerry Jones is gonna be looking at his Johnson.
Oh, there you go.
He got an 8.5-inch long dick.
Is his middle name Big?
Yeah, we like Mr. Johnson here at the Cowboys.
Is that the way it is now, Mark?
That's don't look at me. That was him talking about how big a guy's dick was.
Johnson. I thought y'all were gentlemen, man. Y'all gonna be like that? Y'all gonna bring the dogs out? Okay.
Hey, so my last name is Johnson, and one of my lives like 3 weeks ago, they was in there saying, at least your first name isn't Harry.
Oh. Hey, just give me a minute before I catch up on that. I ain't that fast.
Oh wow, damn. I got it.
It could have been Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I don't want to get it. That's what I'm trying to say, man. I don't want to get it.
One of my high school coaches, his name was Cannon, and it turns out his name was Richard Cannon. And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
like, yeah. And I was like, "Yo, you got the dopest name ever." Coach. All I knew was Coach Cannon. But then, he one day we were like, "Hey, yo, Coach, what's your first name?" You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Richard." Like, what? He was like, "Richard." And I have an uncle Richard, but we call him Uncle Dickie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, he looked at me, and I was like, "Get out of here! Your name is Dick Cannon." And he was like, "Yeah."
That's better than Dick Cannon.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, yeah. But and then we was like, nah. Then we asked somebody to look at an old yearbook, like last year's yearbook, because he was still the team coach there, and it turns out his name is Richard Cannon.
I still think that we should draft a speedy wide receiver in the first round.
Why?
Because we can get good linemen in the third and fourth round, and we can get running back second round.
Jimmy Fox, 8.5 inch. He got an 8.
I'm about to work this $10 million job as a professional athlete, and I'm going to show you the difference between this.
Jerry Jones had 8.5-inch dick.
Oh my God!
So you think?
Mark, wouldn't it be better to bring a agent? That's where Walker Wade's theory comes into play, right? Just for your wide receiver too. I mean, draft for everything else, but you really need like an instant, competent wide receiver too. Wouldn't that be where you would spend?
Mr. F you up all, dude. I was playing the Jerry Jones famous clip with Jamie Foxx, basically talking about the guy having the 8.5-inch dick. Okay, unfortunately, there was music playing in the background, dude. So that's the audio issue. Now shut the fuck up. Okay, all right, there we go.
I'm talking about wide receiver 1.
Wide receiver 2 than any other, and draft for every other position.
Why would I draft? Yeah. Why would I draft a wide receiver 2 in the first round of my draft?
Because you want to. No. I said, wouldn't you want to get a free agent wide receiver 2 rather than someplace else?
I don't need that. I want somebody.
I need some guys that can come out the box and play.
Yeah, somebody's gonna run down the field.
Competent wide receiver too would be better. Would be better suited. Like, what about T. Higgins?
Oh my God! If you got
no, I don't want that.
Why?
I don't want that. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb could be good.
Dude, you want both of them.
Edwin.
Dude, Edwin, you want both of them. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like Edwin, I'm saying you.
What I'm saying is this right here. CeeDee Lamb was put in a position where he caught the ball, but he did not. CeeDee Lamb caught the ball, but he did not go down the field and outrun anybody.
Okay, all right. What you need is another weapon to go out there. Not just an average guy. You need to have somebody that's good. I mean, look at Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Look at Debo and Ayuk.
Right, Jeff, right?
And I think he's a great receiver. But who's better, Chase or CeeDee Lamb as far as watching football? It took you too long. You know Chase is better.
Well, see, Chase also benefits from having T. Higgins there.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if we get somebody to go to complement CeeDee Lamb, then that's what we have then, right?
Yeah, that's what you want.
I want a Roger
I want
or a Harper like freaking like we had with Irvin on the other side, a Harper,
Alvin Harper, and yeah.
Like John Taylor type. I want a big physical receiver on the outside to.
Wait, what I want to say, why is it when I say it, you screaming, but there's someone
because you're an Eagle fan. Because you're an Eagle, we hate you. We hate you.
I'm trying to get you off the podcast, man. We're
talking football, right? We're talking football.
Right.
It still doesn't mean we don't hate the fact that you just won a freaking Super Bowl. And you're in here with that shit-eating grin with that fucking Eagles green smoke behind you. We don't want to hear anything you got to say.
It's right in the corner of his mouth, man. It's like looking at collard greens. I don't want to see that.
Hey, you know what? I love that. I told you I was going to be insufferable. And if this is what's helping to bring discomfort, and I shake your spirit,
you're like a fucking hemorrhoid, man.
Yes, but guess what though? The way you feel about me and everything that you say about me is going to be the reason why y'all come back stronger this year than you did last year.
What do you mean? Dak Prescott got a better record against Philadelphia than any quarterback in the NFL. True or false?
Oh boy.
No conversation.
Come on, man. I'm just saying it took y'all longer to come back this year. It took you longer to come back.
Oh, let me again, Leo. Am I saying that? Leo is a Leon.
Oh boy, Leo. I keep muting this.
It's Leo. Leo. Leo.
Congratulations for winning Super Bowl. We had a bet. I paid you, but the
yes,
fact
you did.
is, your franchise, as far as representing pride, glory, and swagger.
How you doing today, Angelica?
Dallas Cowboys are the best team, better than Philadelphia Eagles, bro. Come on now.
That's why I say you out of touch. You out of touch, bro.
And you
we're the standard right now.
Damn. And put you in touch?
Yep, you're in touch. Well, you're out of touch.
Hold on. What am I missing? Hold on. What am I missing here with Angelica, bro? Jeff, I'm telling you, might as well add your boobies and butt plugs. What the hell we got going on here, Angelica?
Butt plugs.
Butt plugs and boobies. What the hell?
Is that Miss Barone?
Angelica, what's going on up in here? I mean, this is getting as bad as Tyler Perry and the two baby daddies with the one woman and stuff. And I didn't even get it. Hold on, I didn't even get into the dude that did the 360. You know, where swears he's not gay but likes the vibrator up the ass. I just.
Where's the woman underwear?
Yeah, where's women's underwear? But I ain't gay. Yes, man.
That description that you gave hasn't applied to your team for 30 years, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get back. Okay, Leo, we've heard. Let me hear from Angelica. I mean, sorry, Aisha Robinson. What's up?
Wait, hold on, Mark. Can you answer my question?
No, I want to listen to Aisha Robinson if that's okay.
No, I just want to say you should have said what Philly D just said about Jeff.
About Jeff?
He wanted to see what Jeff Bettman.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll have to see what that is then. But yeah, we getting kind of crazy in here. It's just the first week of the off season. We got a long ways to go. And we've been on here for 2 hours here listening to Leo bloviating about how great they are. But, and I'm sure I'm going to piss off some Eagle fans because I was pointing out that when running backs, I've got a video up there, hit the 2,000 yard mark, they usually drop off the cliff the next year.
Yeah, but they don't have an O-line like we have. And Mark, do you or don't you make that trade for wide receiver 2? Yes or no? That's what I was
making. My original
question.
What trade?
I asked you. I asked you. I said, Mark, do you sign free agent money for a wide receiver, a competent wide receiver 2, and then draft everywhere else? And that's when all hell broke loose. But I was asking a real question.
I would have done that. Here's my thing. I would have done that with Michael Gallup instead of signing, believing in my own guy who just tore his fucking ACL to a $52 million contract. I've been better off spending $13 million and signing a free agent for like 2 years and bringing in a guy who would have been healthy. And I said the same thing about,
Will you take Juju?
No, not Juju.
Remember, we said
I'm James Washington
competent
again.
Wide receiver 2.
I want to do better than that, than Juju.
I need a competent physical wide receiver on the outside.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what Dallas Cowboys mean to me. I want to do better
coverage.
than that.
I know when that guy's lined up and my other guy.
As much as I hate you, here's the thing.
Yeah, but see, wait a minute, Chris, because Mark went through the whole. He went through the whole the cap, and what I'm saying is that you're not gonna like if you're gonna make this move, and we're talking a competent wide receiver 2, impactful, and then not stressful on the cap. Because you can draft everything else.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about the cap when the Dallas Cowboys don't sign anybody. The problem with the cap is Stephen Jones doesn't know how to fucking manage the cap. Okay? You don't go through and constantly spend more money on your own contracts and don't have any money to spend on free agents and literally are top heavy in the NFL. Okay?
How much is Dak and CD costing y'all next year?
Well, it depends on if they use the triggers. Now, again, this is the difference is both of those contracts, much like Diggs, is getting the guaranteed money out of the way first, so you're not hamstrung with it down the road later on.
Right.
The Cowboys know how to use the cap. They invented it. They invented the triggers. They invented all this.
They may have invented it, but they don't know how to work.
They just refuse to use it.
Well, then that's the case. And then if they refuse to use it, then they don't care about winning. Right. Because you have to get players. You can't look and say it was a fluke that the Eagles won this year, because this formula has been working since the Eagles were doing it. I remember when you guys signed Jay Ajayi in the middle of the season. You brought in Ndamukong Suh and all these guys, and you won the Super Bowl. You can look at the Rams and say if they don't make the trade for Matthew Stafford, bring in Odell and Von Miller, they probably don't make it. Tampa Bay certainly doesn't make it without Tom Brady and Gronk and Ndamukong Suh and all the other guys they brought into it. And you don't look at the 49ers going out and getting Christian McCaffrey and getting Hargrave and all these players. Yeah. This is what you have to do now to compete.
If you got the money now, spend it.
Or you figure out how to do it.
Stephen Jones don't realize this is the power team era.
Right. Because now you're right, exactly. This is the power team era. Teams that you used to didn't have this before, where teams were able to load up on talent. With the voidable years and being able to kick that money off down there, teams are using that to go ahead and say, we're close, let's top it off with as much talent as possible and go ahead and do it. And the Cowboys are still stuck. Like my original premise when I was talking about Mr. Beast when we first started is he's realized you have to evolve with the times. The Cowboys have not evolved from the 90s, and they're still trying to do the same thing where, we got all these draft picks because of the Herschel Walker trade, and we drafted all these great players and so on. They think that they can still do that, and you can't compete this way. They are now.
How are you not evolved with the times he's drafted every year. I don't
Well,
understand.
here's where you can look at it and say Tom Landry was innovative with the flex defense, with using the algorithms basically to figure out what players were going to be great, going to historically black colleges and finding players that nobody else did, using the shotgun, the shift, and things like that.
And looking
but
for
he
players
didn't
outside
change
of football too.
Right, exactly. But he didn't change when he got to the 80s, and his system became old when Walsh came in, of course, and Joe Gibbs, the one-back offense. He was still doing the same things that he was doing before, and that's why the Cowboys weren't able to compete. Well, this is repeating itself again. Jerry Jones is still trying to do what Jimmy Johnson did without doing it as good as he did, and thinks that you're still going to be able to win, where everything has changed and moved on.
Oh, okay. Now
they are, it's like having an IBM computer. IBM was the biggest company in the world, and with Xerox and stuff. Where are they now? Are they still even in business? If you don't evolve and change, things keep going.
But Mark, remember when I talked about when we were talking? Like, I remember you asking me at the end of last season how I felt about what are we going to do when it came to Jason Kelce retiring, and I said, that secession plan has been in place from the year before, because they asked him, and it looked as though we haven't skipped a beat when in regards to not taking anything away from Jason Kelce, just saying from that position it really hasn't been that bad.
Oh no, no.
But again, when we looking at, I feel like what you're saying is, when you're thinking in terms of periods of time, you've drafted well, but has there been an actual real succession plan been put in place regarding, certain players when they look? You guys haven't really recovered that well from Vander Esch.
Here's what your team always does is they evaluate and say, where can we get better? And I say Miles Sanders was not a bad running back, and he wasn't spent, but they decided we can move on from him. And then you got DeAndre Swift. Swift was better to me than Miles Sanders. And you could have said, we're good right there. Instead, you say, we need to be even better, and you get Saquon. We have been going through with Zeke Elliott going downhill, and then got lucky with Tony Pollard, and we decided, we're going to get rid of Zeke, and Tony Pollard is just going to be able to do double duty. We'll be okay with Tony Pollard being an inside runner, even though that's not his game. And then you let Tony Pollard go, and your thing was, well, we'll do it running back by committee. You have literally gone downhill every single year at running back.
Okay.
As opposed to you getting better and better and better and saying, I need somebody better. The Cowboys, they end up letting go Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong and stuff, right? And they say, well, we're going to draft a guy. We got Marshawn Nealon, who's a rookie. And we got Sam Williams, who has been kind of like Randy Gregory as far as boneheaded mistakes, and has had some flashes, but has not been consistent. And then he gets hurt in training camp and it's gone for a year.
Do you think that's because of how the devaluation of running backs has gone over the years, though, too?
Yeah.
And that may be. And it's, the pendulum swung too far where they said you don't need running backs. And then you come back and see with Derrick Henry and even Pacheco with Kansas City, as great as Pat Mahomes is, that running game makes a difference for their team as well. And, of course, Saquon. So you're realizing you can't just say we can just throw anybody out there. You do need a difference maker.
I don't disagree with that at all. The thing that I'm sort of kind of like looking at as well, out of all the free agents we got, Mekhi Becton, because he was someone else's first rounder that was thrown away. They thought he was going to be a bust. He's not even playing the original position that he was drafted for. But look at what he had he had a all-pro type of year.
Right.
And so now when we think about re-signing folks, to me, Mekhi Becton, and you and I disagree on this, but I think it's Zach Bond. You keep saying Milton Williams, but I think we should sign Zach Bond, re-sign. Those would be the two priorities, and then just draft again at the other positions that we're going to lose people on, because I believe that anybody that we don't re-sign is going to end up on the Commanders or the Raiders, because they got big money coming into next season. Now, with the thing that I don't understand, I can't get the weather report on when it comes to Dallas, is you pointed out the fact that if y'all made certain moves, you could fuck around and end up with like $90 million or something like that.
They got triggers they could flip.
But not even only that. Like, if you, for example, like let's say you decided to move on from Diggs, because Diggs is probably not going to be ready to start the season. You can get about $10 million there. If you decide that you want,
you would recover $10 million by
if you go through and you decide that we're going to move on from Terrence Steele, you can basically make him a June 1st. You'll get $13 million right here this year. If you get Micah Parsons done. Okay, if you get Micah Parsons done, he's a $24 million hit. He's probably like 10, 11 with the new contract, so you're getting 13. About another 12 right there, 12, 13 million. So that's money that you get, not to mention the rollover that we have, which is about another 20 million right there. If you use the triggers with Dak Prescott, and you can get 40 million there. If you use the one with CD, you can get about 15, 16 million. So it's not that far of a reach to go ahead and get money if you want to, and basically use, because they've got Dak and CD's voidable years, I think, to like 2031 or 2032. So you have space that you could stagger those out. Now, the Cowboys may not want to do Dak. They may want to go ahead and take that big hit this year, and it makes it more easier to get out if they decide after the end of next year.
But then y'all could get, if you got rid of those, if you did those moves, then
you can have $100 million.
Okay, so
over $100 million
again, and then draft and get younger. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles have the youngest defense in the league.
Yeah, they do,
and that's with Brandon Graham on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
About that?
No, it's a fact. That's a fact. They are the youngest defense.
Look at our defense. Tell me who's the oldest on defense besides the linebacker
Kendricks and D-Law if he comes back.
But D-Law didn't play, so.
And then you got but Malik Hooker's older than most of the guys on the Eagles defense.
But
Edwin.
The rest we had a young guys.
Edwin, we had a DB one of our DBs just turned 22 on Sunday. Yeah. That's how young we are. We're young. We're young. Them guys are in their early 20s.
And Jalen and Mozzie.
Yeah, Jalen is only like 23 years old.
I'm saying the same. Diggs is the best player in the backfield on the defense. And how old is he now?
Yeah, but here's the problem with Diggs. But here's the problem with Diggs, though, bro.
He's older than most of our defense.
He's not older than 26.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
That's older than most of our defense.
But he may be done, man.
He may be done.
As good as he is compared to Philadelphia's backfield on defense, our guys are young. Our guys, they're young guys.
Bro, Edwin, our guys are 21 and 22 years old.
Diggs is toast. He's burnt toast right now.
Right. He's getting.
How old is he?
But okay, it doesn't matter how old he is right now because he's got the bone graft. That is like the operation of last resort because he's got no cartilage in his knee anymore.
Mark, if you did those moves, and then if you did those moves, and you remember what I said, you do those moves. And then you draft at that position, those positions.
Yeah,
doesn't that immediately make y'all like the youngest defense?
But this is the same conversation we have every year because the Cowboys could have went ahead in the beginning of offseason last year and gotten Dak Prescott signed, and instead of him being $60 million, maybe it's 54. Before everybody else got paid. If Trevor Lawrence getting paid $55 million a year, you got to look at it and say Dak Prescott deserves more than freaking Trevor Lawrence. But they dicked around and waited to get that deal done.
The way they threw Dak under the bus in their press conference, they kind of made it seem like he was the one that was
maybe. Okay, but the same thing, again, who knows? But same thing with CeeDee Lamb. You waited until everybody else got paid. You could have signed CeeDee Lamb the season before and made him the highest paid. And right now you'd be looking and saying, well, damn, that's really cheap right now. And you're dicking around right now with Micah. Get that thing done, man. Because right now they're talking about Brock Purdy is going to probably be the highest paid now, so he's going to go up, and and anybody
I don't
else.
know, man.
Well, they're talking about.
I don't know.
I don't know about getting.
Well,
they're and let me say this, because the way, I know you said your TV's been off, that's been an actual part of a conversation as well, Mark, because people are thinking
maybe he's not the one.
You got to have a ceiling somewhere.
Yeah, and
it's getting ridiculous.
Brock Purdy in anybody else's. If you put Brock Purdy in anybody else's system, will he look? No. Will he be as good?
But Jimmy G.
But hold on.
But wait. Jimmy G was the highest paid at one point. Kirk Cousins was the highest paid.
Again, at what point do you get? At what point do teams learn their lesson? By doing that dumb shit.
With the running backs, remember, and then it collapsed the market on the running back.
We'll see.
Exactly.
The market on the quarterback.
Well, Brock Purdy is not scary to me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Do you like Jimmy Garoppolo and mind you, people have been teams have been burnt as of late. Look at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're questioning whether or not they did the right thing or not.
But unfortunately, what are the options though, bro? Look at do you look at this quarterback class and say that there's a lot of great quarterbacks in here?
I think what you're going to do. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a reverse course. You're going to see a reverse or alteration on where a team is going. Look at Carolina. I think Carolina is going to probably fuck around and start investing their assets and resources to get Bryce Young the kind of help that he needs.
They need to
get him the O-line, because they keep knocking it. His problem is what's hindering his development is that he ain't got an O-line. If there's one thing that the Philadelphia Eagles showed everybody is if you give your quarterback a good O-line, you might be able to do some things. Jaden Daniels, the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but I still say you got that Philadelphia Eagle O-line, but do you think Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl without Barkley?
We've all agreed.
No.
They still probably get. I think they're still a pretty damn good team. I still think they win the division.
Okay, well, how many times in the NFC has the same team win the division back to back?
In the NFC East, nobody has since 23-24.
It's been over 20 years.
Look, how many times have they won back to back?
It was Philly the last time, I think.
Never.
What?
I think Philly was the last team to do it, though.
They were. They did it 3 years in a row.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You said that no team has ever went back to back in the NFC East?
No. Not since the 2002 3 and 4 season. Eagles did.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying, look, that's what I'm telling you. Edwin, I think you out of touch. See?
Okay. All right.
I'm out of touch, and you the one with the green giant behind you? The big collard green, the charge?
Man, that's some weed smoke coming out
of the dream of collard greens now.
That's some weed smoke.
Dreaming collard greens now.
Yeah. But the funny thing is here's the funny thing that we always hear that quarterbacks, they ain't gonna pay them any more than that. We've been hearing that since they started paying quarterbacks $20 million. And every year it continues to go up. Because now I know Dak gets 60, right? Because he was the last one to get paid. But Joe Burrow at 55. Jordan Love's at 55. Trevor Lawrence is at 55. Tua's at 53. And who knows how long he's going to be there.
Where one player can't take up 25% of your cap. There comes a point
and
where
Jalen's at what? 50?
Well, I bet you that salary cap goes up $35 million at least this year.
Where's Jalen at?
That's $60 million.
Jalen is at 51.
Well, the way it keeps going, 4 years, that 60 won't even look bad.
I'm serious.
But guys, let me ask you a question.
All I'm saying is I'm gonna play a guy $60 million. You better be Joe Montana out there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
When the last year you got, everybody was talking about the running back was obsolete and the quarterback was the man.
Mm-hmm.
And now Barkley's come in the game. Now everybody wants to.
It's not it's not or one or the other. You got to have both.
Okay.
Brock Purdy was good because he had Christian McCaffrey. Okay. You saw with Christian McCaffrey being injured this year, how did Brock Purdy look?
Yeah, if Christian or Trent are down,
he didn't look too pretty
today. Play good.
Yeah, so that's you got to have a team. It's never going to be just one guy. Aaron Rodgers, as much as I hate him, has been one of the best quarterbacks in football, but he only won one.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's been great.
Yeah, it has been real great. It's been 2.5 hours, and I had not planned on being. I needed to go get some wood.
I made it spicy.
Shut the fuck up.
I take full credit for that, Mark.
Man, these streams can be consuming. I'll get on and I feel like it's been 30 minutes. I look up, it's an hour and a half.
I know, man. I'm like, I can't believe we've been here almost as long as a football game right now. It's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
and I made it spicy.
So long, the Cowboys will do something in free agency.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
Hey, start paying attention. I'm gonna be doing some more lives on the bird section. So, you know what I mean? Check me out. How's that?
Derek, what idiots do you have coming up? It sounds like you could just do sisters clips and stuff for your live streams about idiots out there.
No, that's
Mark. Don't fuck it up for real. Don't do that, man.
I don't. I want to monetize my videos. Tyler Perry take all that money.
Oh, I can believe that too. You got any more dumbasses out there that you got tonight?
I'm going live tonight in about an hour.
Okay.
Derek J reacts. I think the video I'm using tonight, I don't watch it ahead of time. But they say the lady disturbs the whole neighborhood or harasses the neighborhood.
That sounds like Leo.
You're having a hard time with it, Mark. I get it. You're having all of y'all. Edwin's really having a hard time with it. I get it. It's all right.
I've made peace, Leo.
Hey, Walker. Thanks, brother. What I was trying to do was I was trying to go down the rabbit hole with you, and come up. I was actually saying positive Cowboy things if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Offering up what I thought maybe would be helpful.
Yeah, you say trade Michael Parsons, man. Cowboys fans, man, they just no.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? But you get a good return on investment. You would get some serious draft capital, and you get rid of a headache.
I don't think he's a headache. I don't think he's a headache. What the hell? No, a headache is somebody that's out there getting arrested all the time. In news, TMZ for doing stupid shit. That's a headache.
Yep. I know. A headache is still in cologne and underwear.
All right. So all right, because I was under the impression, the podcast stuff and the things that he says, I was under the impression that the fan base was getting a bit short with it. So is it the fan base or is it just the front office?
If you perform on the field, I don't care what you do. You could, he can be like dude that's getting knocked out doing the 360, with the dildo in his rear end and wearing women's underwear and claiming he's not gay. If you're getting me 12, 15 sacks a season, I don't care what you do. Just do that for me.
Wasn't some of his teammates mad? Did some of his teammates get mad about that?
Yeah, and he's probably not going to be there back next year.
Was Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
And he was barely. Okay. He was only here for 2 years.
No, 1 year. Okay. Stephon was only here one year.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, and you had Malik Hooker who was this time last year kind of saying that, when you're doing the podcast and we're getting beat up in the run, that you might want to cartel it something.
That's the problem. Do the podcast when we're winning, when you win championships. Don't do the podcast when we suck. That's why the Cowboys are a brand. They 53 brands, and it's not football first. It's all about promoting the brand and getting your name out there and not to focus on football. I'm tired of that shit.
Football, he says.
Yeah. That's Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, unfortunately, is so far away from a Yoda, it's not even funny.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
He may look like Yoda, but he ain't no Yoda. He ain't getting that X-Wing out the swamp. He ain't doing that shit, okay?
I'd rather have Yoda.
You can't have any for ages. For bubble tea.
I don't believe it.
See what happens.
That is why you fail.
He's more like the Sith. Okay.
Yoda's lucky, man. I mean, not that bad guy.
Yoda Jones.
That's why Stephen Jones fails.
Well, I'm just saying, in my mind, I just figured that based off of the things that I heard from the fan base during the course of the season, that you guys would be looking at, like, if you could get.
No, I was going to say, Leo, I actually think we'll be all right once Jerry Jones starts pushing up daisies, because I don't think Stephen Jones can take the heat.
Well, I don't think Stephen Jones will take on his role and his daddy's role both.
Yeah, I don't think he could take the heat because you could tell that Jerry was walking back. No, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. No, I think maybe things could change if Jerry starts pushing up dates.
And that's why I think, and you know what, Walker, years, maybe. I agree with you. And I think that's why Will McClay signed like a 5-year deal.
Yeah,
he becomes the GM. Stephen Jones becomes the
get elevated to GM. Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the succession plan right there.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, I think we said that last week. Do you think that a succession plan has been, strategically been put in place so that if and when Jerry, if he croaks, then it can.
What do you mean if? It's when.
Well, when, yeah, when. Okay, sorry.
It's just a matter of time.
Jerry Jones gonna turn himself
Jerry's
into a robot.
Jerry's gonna live for another 1,000 years, where we're never gonna get rid of him.
Jerry Jones gonna be a robot in about 10 years. He gonna,
don't even mention that.
Jerry Jones ain't
He's
never
just gonna have his head in like a little robotic body or some shit, preserve himself. I ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Oh man. This is crazy.
Cryogenically freeze himself just so he can stay there.
Like
and did you guys? I just want to make sure I note to you guys because yesterday the owner only spoke for less than I think a minute and a half. Thank you. Love having me out here. Thank you very much. Bye bye. That's it. They all only.
Yeah, our owner doesn't do that. Our owner, when he talks, he brings up a Ford Bronco from the 1980s that picked him up, and he brings up my credit card was bouncing. I made the biggest gamble in the world buying the Cowboys. Jerry, I heard that shit. Jerry,
don't tell me I don't take risks.
My mama fed me squirrel when I was a little boy.
No one can do it like me.
What's up, Aisha?
You're out
there. Is your GM okay? He got hit in the head, but with a big can and a push.
He went up on stage and said to everybody, "I bleed for the city." You know what I'm saying? So there you go.
What? He's on his period?
No, he got hit. He got slashed across the head with a beer can.
Oh,
someone's throwing kid. He got hit in the head.
Jerry's the only owner I know that literally his team gets the shit kicked out of him by the Packers, and then right after that he says, "I'm all in." And he does nothing.
And does nothing.
Proceeds to do nothing.
Well, that's why I was saying, when Mark was pointing out all this stuff about the salary cap and everything, I'm like, well, damn, if you look at what Philly did, that says I'm all in more than without having to say I'm all in.
Do we have to constantly talk about? It's not about you, bro. It's not about you. Jeez,
no, I'm just using an example,
listen, you're as bad as those the women on Sisters, okay? You got 2 or 3 guys that want you, and it's all about me. You know what? Maybe you need to give some a little bit. Maybe be a nicer person, and maybe people wouldn't shit on you all the time.
I'm not, Mark. I'm saying, like, bruh. Everything that I'm saying is not like it's not a dig. It's saying like, yeah, you were right, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were upset about.
How the hell did you find me? Seriously, how did you find me,
Mark?
Start. Philly 500.
You guys were thanking him when we came to Philly. You guys were praising him.
I can't wait till week 1 in free agency. See that video, day 1 of free agency. I can't wait till we do that live stream because. Man, when every team starts signing people and my team ain't doing shit, man. My God, boy, I'm just sorry. The ship's going down.
Mm-hmm. Well, I promised everybody that I was going to be insufferable, and I have every intentions on being that. This is going to be
okay,
and you'll be happy that I'll be the reason why you come back.
I hear nothing. No.
Oh shit! He's getting faster.
I'll be the reason why you come back.
He's getting faster at the trigger.
I am. I'm paying attention now.
He knows. He's got his finger right over the button, ready to go because I know I'm going to be muted. All right, everybody. Look, Momo says stop glow. Damn, Momo, when did you leave, Momo?
Oh, you been gone.
Damn.
Cooked his ass. He wasn't come. No, he couldn't be on here. He cooked the hell out of him.
Damn.
Because how can he say all that stuff when we put 55 on him? Y'all beat the shit out of the Redskins too.
Lord.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. I told you, for some odd reason, Bamander fans were a lot more spicier this season than I can remember.
Leo is No, I ain't gonna put that on you, Leo. I was about to say.
Well, you trying to figure out what character I would be?
Yeah, I ain't gonna put the one I was gonna say is not you. What's his name? I forget.
I don't know. I wouldn't know who the character is.
I know.
Okay.
I can't remember his name, but
yeah. All I want Momo to do is tell me what he thinks an elite quarterback is. Like, what are your parameters for an elite quarterback? Most Commanders are, fans or Bumander fans keep telling me that Jaden Daniels is better than Jalen Hurts. How? In what way? Where?
This is Commanders 1 and 10.
Oh, Maurice.
I'm gonna see you in the hospital. We gonna get a high. Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna put that on you, Leo. Maurice is not really.
All right. It's been 2.5 hours. I need to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody. It's time to turn out the lights. This party is over.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah, fellas, y'all have a good one. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Cowboys.
Leo, you're a mess, man.
Tomorrow and next year.
C-O-A-C-K.